everyone, and welcome to our Unite Wellness Event Marketing Workshop. Thank you for joining us. My name's Kristall. If we haven't met before, this is my partner, Shine. Together, we are Unite's co-founders. And just briefly about us, we've been hosting wellness events in Vancouver for almost 9 years. We have been promoting and marketing those. And Shine, share a few of the stats. How many events have we hosted in that time?
142 or 3, and yeah, over 10,800 attendees and 500,000 in sales.
Yeah, so we've done a few events, just a little bit, and it's really our passion through those events. We're always supporting wellness practitioners, entrepreneurs, basically everyone who's just looking to share their offering and lift up the world. We have had a lot of vendors and a lot of healers at our events, and one of the things that we really find is a challenge for all of us is just getting our message out there. Everyone has such big hearts and wants to share their beautiful offerings. And it sucks when we all have to wear so many hats of being expert marketers, expert this, expert everything. So we're hoping that with our combined expertise that we can really help you guys with some just really basic tips for how to optimize the work you're already doing with your marketing, if you're already doing that, and also some maybe new information to you about some things that we do that works really well. And hopefully you can spend less time on marketing and more time on doing whatever it is your offering is that you love and want to share with the world. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to be at it for about 3 hours tonight, and we're going to start with just a little round robin check-in to hear where everyone's at in their events marketing journey, whether you're starting off at the beginning or whether you've been doing it for a while and just looking to optimize. We'd love to hear that. And yeah, then we'll get into kind of specific questions, find out where everybody's at, and get to dig deep and share all the awesomeness. Anything else to cover?
Good job, honey.
Thanks, sweetie. Okay, so who would like to share next? So we'd love to just hear from you, kind of where you're at in your event journey, kind of where your goal is. Like, yeah, I'd love to host big events, or I'd love to just, really fill up my intimate ones, or what kind of your big goal is, and also what your pain point is. So what's kind of like tripping you up, whether it's time, energy, knowledge, so we can just, tailor this workshop to be useful for everyone. So can you raise your hand in this program? I don't know. Okay.
At the bottom, you can raise your
hand, or you can just
unmute
unmute or wave a hand. Yep. And away we go. So who wants to go next? Perfect. Oh, I think Simon's ready. Yep. Off you go, Simon.
Please.
Unmute yourself.
Hey guys. The main events that I want to be hosting are online webinars. So I'm an affiliate with Enagic, and I want to just be talking about how to live a non-toxic lifestyle and kind of talking about the products that we promote. I am looking to start hosting them this month. I guess my main sort of pain points would just be a combination of lack of confidence and just my outreach strategy. Right now, I'm trying to find different Facebook groups that I can, advertise the webinars for, but I'm still struggling to figure out like what the best strategy is. Should I be focusing like all over, the country or the continent, and, which groups are typically the most engaged? I don't know any of that stuff. So anything that you can help me with my outreach would be greatly appreciated.
Awesome. You've come to the right place.
So hosting online events for people who would eventually want to buy an Enagic filter. Is that right?
Yeah. So the point is, it's going to be like an informational webinar. So talking about like how to live a non-toxic lifestyle. And if that's something that you're looking to do, then, this might be something that you can look into further.
Awesome.
Love it. Love it.
Perfect.
Amazing.
We'll definitely be able to support with that.
Yep.
Who would like to share next? Amazing. Off you go, Kimberly.
Fantastic. Thank you both so much for hosting this. I'm so excited to be here. The energy in the room is just so lovely so far. So this is going to be such a great night. And essentially, I'm in the corporate wellness workplace space. And I just partnered with someone recently. So as soon as I saw this, I was like, this is amazing timing with him and I doing workshops. And we're focusing on HR and hospitality, healthcare, so that we can help with community within workplaces. And so when I came to this, I was like, okay, great. I haven't done quite that before, but it's all going to be targeted in person. And marketing that I've done has been in such a different angle that I'm curious around the in-person marketing and how does that work? Because I find I get shiny object syndrome and I see so many different things that I can do. And I'm like, okay, but I see that you two have so much credibility behind you that I'm like, I want to learn from people who actually have the stats and the numbers there and the right place of heart. So that's sort of where I'm at with all of this.
Aw, love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, nice to see you.
That's so sweet. And that's, that's definitely something that we were really finding too is I think especially in the well-being community, marketing can come across like, the only option is like sales, pitch, push, make people like clickbait stuff. And we've never prescribed to that method of marketing. And yeah, when we are like, oh, we would love some support, we haven't found a lot of avenues that are marketing really with like relationship building from the heart, kind of authentic, genuine love connection back and forth. So it's so sweet to hear that, you see that in us and yeah, you want to learn from us. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yay. All righty. Who else would like to chime in? Awesome. Did you hear the little intro of what we're asking for you to share with us?
Yes, no problem. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So we create horse experiences. So these are in-person events. And we just held our very first one at our barn called a sound bath in the presence of horses. And so we do a circle, do the singing bowls, a sound bath, and we have a horse at liberty amongst the people, and the horses interacting with the people. So we are hoping to create a number of these type of things around either meditation in the presence of horses, dance and movement in the presence of horses. So we kind of are working on pulling together a schedule of regular events. So the challenges we face is how do we get the marketing? How do we get the message out there? How do we build our clientele? And how to do that through social media, I think seems to be where most of the people are right now, as opposed to putting up flyers on bulletin boards around town. So yeah.
Awesome. And what would you say your team's level of current kind of engagement and comfortability with social media and kind of that kind of marketing? Are you starting out, or is that something you have a bit of experience with?
We have a minimal amount of experience with the social media side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll just share quick in case it doesn't come back up. We did posters for our last event for the first time in years. And we put a QR code that tracked the sales. So we knew exactly how many sales came from the posters, and they paid for themselves in like a day. Yeah. Like the time and the money to post them. It was like immediate. So it was very worth it for us. And just the branding of it, it was actually really effective. So definitely don't sleep on everyone's online, but people are still at coffee shops and grocery stores.
Okay, that's good advice.
What we found is the QR code is great because, like Shine said, you can track the sales. The other thing we highly recommend is, unless you're marketing something like a few months in advance, I'd recommend doing it when you've got a series to share. So you've got like, this event is, you know, happening 3 or 4 times over the next whatever. So you can share all those dates on your poster, because otherwise your poster is going to be out of date, you know, in a week or 2. So that's definitely something, once you've thought out, like you said, you want your series. So you can be like, if you want this event, come here. If you want this event, and we've got 3 dates for this option. And even, you know, things like, you know, you can sign up and follow us online with this QR code. So you can put a couple of those, and then that one poster is actually supporting a lot of different things. So
Yeah, at our last event, we told the participants the upcoming events, and we've actually had a number of people already sign up.
Amazing. Perfect. We've got some great strategies for that follow-up as well. So we will get back to that. But thank you for bringing that up.
And
Thank you, guys.
And just FYI for everyone, while we're talking, this is being recorded, transcribed. You'll have access to both afterwards. You can search by keyword, or just, you know, scroll back to certain points. And then anything that's more logistical of like, oh, well, how do you like create a Facebook ad, or how do you, where is that button on there? Feel free to ask us. But there's also any of those AI tools like ChatGPT. I prefer Perplexity because it's a new, it's kind of like it uses, instead of just making up the answer and guessing what it's going to be, which is kind of what OpenAI ChatGPT does, it actually sources from like how Google ranks web pages. It will only give you something that it can source that's reliable. So it is far more accurate, and it makes up less stuff, whereas the other AIs seem to just kind of make stuff up once in a while. I'm sure it's all getting better. So anyways, I use Perplexity, and it's you just say, here's my event, here's all my stuff. How do you, like, any suggestions, any like brainstorm with me? How do you make an ad for this? What should be on the poster? Like, it's super, super amazing. And of course, we're happy to get into it, but just to keep that in mind, that a lot of anything like that is really, really easy to just get I just tell it, like, give me step 1, I do it. Okay, step 2, I do it. And it's so, like, that's how I got Facebook ads, was just because it's really confusing at first. There's so many buttons and things and options. And I was like, hey, step 1, here's my goal, here's my thing, teach me how to do a Facebook ad. And it just walked me through it. So anyway.
Yeah. And what we find too with the AIs, especially if you're using it for writing, or for writing your content or titles or those kind of creative ideas, is we find, like with anything, it's kind of like a great first draft. And then we always, of course, go back in and rewrite to make it sound personable, to give it your voice. But what we find really great with that is, especially when it's your own project, sometimes we forget we're writing all about the lovely, you know, the heart of and the mission of this, and it's such a beautiful event, and then we forget basics like, where is it, when is it, how is it, you know, and the AI is really good at like laying those things out. And even things like, it's taken me years to remember to put, like, you know, this is not a scent-free environment if you have allergies to scents, or, you know, there may be pets at this location. Just, you know, basic, even like a photo disclaimer, because, you know, maybe I'm going to take photos of my event because I want to use it for promotion, just to kind of put that in your copy. And so the AI is really good for helping with those basics as well. So anyway, we won't get into detail yet. We want to keep going around. We've got one more person to hear from, and then we'll be able to get into 2 more people to hear from, and then we'll be able to get into the more the basics. So yeah.
Okay, Sa.
No, you're not muted. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, I do have to speak. Even though, I mean, I'm a student of Kristall and Shine's. I've been learning from them for many years. I am a therapist. I specialize in trauma. And I'm here. I don't need help at this point. I'm happy with where I'm at, but I'm here always. I love learning, and I'm here to learn more. And but there's one thing Kristall said, I think it was Kristall especially said, which really helped me when I was beginning and I was so anxious, was, what is my why, my heart? I might get emotional, my passion. And for me, it's being a survivor of childhood trauma. So supporting others to find out who they are underneath their trauma. We are not what was done to us. And that always, and so it means I get over my ego, my insecurity, my wanting to hide, and it's like, it's not about me.
Yeah.
And I step into the bigger space, and so that has made all the difference for me.
Thank you for sharing. For anyone who didn't join right at the beginning, that's Kaisa. That's my mom, and she is Unite's #1 fan. And I definitely wouldn't be here without her, and Unite would not be where it is today without Mom. So yeah, she's a huge supporter, and I love what she brought, that reminder. And I'd love everyone to hold on to that thought as we move forward. I know for myself, with my kind of like ADHD dyslexic brain, when we get into technical stuff and steps and processes that I'm not familiar with, I can get triggered and shut down and frustrated. And to remember that our bigger why of all of us on here have a mission to share something really powerful and really magical with the world. And what we're doing today is just making ourselves available for people to find us, for people to engage with us, for people to connect with us. So we're basically like, you sit at home, under your blankets and be safe, but no one's going to know about your mission, and no one's going to be able to engage with you and benefit from the amazing things that you want to share. So if you get triggered, if you get challenged, let us know. We can help pedal it back. We can help walk you through it, and just come at it from this place of, you don't need to get all this today. Like Shine said, we're going to transcribe it. You can watch it back again and again. We can hold your hand and walk you through. And I find repetition, right? So watch it a few times and just go step by step, and just keep remembering, like, this is just a tool that we're all using to help share the why and the message that is so magical. And it's making ourselves seen and heard in a way that other people can resonate with, other people who have the heart. You don't want to attract everybody. You don't want to market to everyone. You want to attract the people that want what you have to offer. And that's all we're doing today, is just using the tools that are available to get that message across clearly. So thanks, Mom, for reminding us why we're doing this in the first place. It's a little stretch sometimes, but it's totally worth it. And we'll all get it together.
Flo, do you want to share anything?
Yeah.
Sure. Thanks. Super excited to be here. So grateful for everyone being here. It's such a beautiful space and beautiful energy, and grateful for Unite and what they're doing for the world, and, bringing all these people together to share what they're doing, all their conscious businesses. And yeah, I'm excited to be here. I feel like I can support this space as well. I'm curious to know more about what Simon's doing in terms of like if they're just offering a product or if it's like an affiliate program. I do help my clients like build their funnels, and through my friend's program that's called Growth Mastery. But I think that also I need support in like just like up leveling myself. I think like I'm delegating at a small scale, but I really want to like step into the next level of like building a bigger team so that I can, build all the things that I want, like a new media platform, and have, everything flowing and step into that greater dream that versus like the clients with the small projects and just, delegating to like one person and, and expanding from there. And then when you said like events, I have a dream of creating like village build out festivals where it's like we take the production of what normal festivals are doing and then we plant that into a land project. And so we can do the like planting the gardens and making the spaces and like building cob houses or whatever it may be, and then while also having the healing workshops and the transformative like people and healings, and have an epic festival while activating land projects. So I think in terms of like events, that's the greater vision, like dream of like, the next couple of years. And then on the micro scale, I want to start hosting retreats. I had an awakening in Tikal in Guatemala many years ago. So I want to create a retreat in Tikal to really bring in this ancient wisdom of the Mayans, and also just cultivate it around, wellness and activating our businesses online too, through like creating the content and everything. So yeah, I'm just planting that seed out there for it to blossom. So grateful to be here and listen and support.
Lovely.
Thank you, sweetheart.
So we're planning to just go through kind of one by one and sort of get into the specifics of exactly what you're looking for. And then we'll sort of do that for everyone. And then at the end, we've got our document that I think we sent everyone at some point that has sort of our our checklist of all the things that we do when we run events. That way we're focusing on like your specifics first, and then we can kind of go through, and then the checklist is also, obviously it's available online anytime, and you can ask us questions and all that stuff. Oh,
Sorry, we've just got,
no, that's cool.
is she, oh, she's already on? Perfect.
So yeah, why don't we just start at the top left with Simon, who started with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me again. So I guess, yeah, I kind of just want to get a better outreach strategy. Like I said, right now, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I tried going the ads route. That didn't really work out. I tried reaching out to people organically on Instagram. That didn't really work out either. So right now I'm trying to go the Facebook group route and just hosting online webinars to see if I can garner enough interest to see if like this is something that they want to know more about. Right now, my plan was to just, you know, like join as many Facebook groups as I could. I don't want to come off as really spammy, but you know, there's so many cities in North America. There's so many like demographics that I can target, that I can tap into, but I just don't know how to focus my targeting, and if like doing the wide net approach will be a waste of time.
Awesome. Yeah, I have a couple points. What are you sharing, or what have you shared, or what's your thought to share once you join those groups? Are you just sharing like join my link here? Or are you sending them to a Facebook event page to join, and then the events happening through there? Kind of what's your process right now?
So to be honest, I haven't shared anything yet, but my plan was to my plan was to advertise it as an event. Yeah. So it'll be an event talking about here's how you can live like a non-toxic lifestyle. And, you know, we'll go into things like what's in our water, what's in our air, you know, the EMFs that radiate from our technology. We'll go into all of that, and we'll talk about the different products that help to, you know, harmonize those frequencies, that help to filter out the chemicals in the water. Those kinds of things. And then if they want to, they can get in touch with me later, but it's not going to be just like a basic post of like, visit my website. It'll be more of a, like, if you're interested in this webinar, in this event, then, you know, feel free to RSVP.
Awesome. So a great place to start is definitely, we highly recommend making Facebook events. A lot of people seem to be missing that step, and they are just posting like a flyer or a banner or just a link to, like you said, to their website or to their webinar. And what we find, what people don't realize is a Facebook event is like a holding container of people that have said, I'm interested, kind of give permission to keep engaging with me, right? So whenever someone says they're interested or going, I'm guessing every single one of you on here got a message from me at least once, and maybe from Shine too, being like, hey, I see you're interested. Do you need the link? Do you need whatever? Right? So it's basically an invitation to engage, and it's people showing that they're interested. So highly recommend you make a Facebook event for every single event you're doing.
And a LinkedIn event.
And a LinkedIn event. So LinkedIn event is good as well, but the Facebook event is what you're going to want to share on the Facebook groups. The really nice thing about sharing Facebook events on Facebook groups is if everyone knows, do you want to show everyone? Shine's going to walk us through on a screen share. So for all the visuals in here, you can see what we're talking about. So for all groups, unless the group has post permission turned on and you cannot post without the post being approved, if the group doesn't have that, or if you've been pre-approved for the group, you will see, can everyone see the screen here? Perfect. So if you can show the events on the side there. Why don't you move all this stuff? So yeah, there we go. Perfect. So you can see right here, these are the upcoming events that have been shared in Unite Vancouver. So they're right here, super obvious, easy for everyone to see. People can scroll through and look at them. And then if you go to the top of the page, a lot of groups also have this right here. You just can't see because you've just got to go to the side there. where you can see this little drop down. Oh, we've got a lot of pin posts here as well, where you can see all the featured events. So especially right now, this is a really big Facebook group we have. This is almost 6,000 people in Unite Vancouver. Yay, us. So right now you're only basically seeing what's happening right now because there's actually like 3 events happening at the same time. But in especially the smaller groups, it's great because your group might be featured kind of in that little thing for a couple of days or a week if there's no one else sharing events. So that's, you know, a huge bonus, a huge plus to do that, to share your events in the group. What you need to do is you cannot share, if you go to your Facebook event, Shine, would you take us to a Facebook event, please? And if you hit share, see the little arrow here on the side and you hit share, and then you go down and pick Unite Vancouver and you share it in Unite Vancouver, it's not, does it always, or it's not going to share the link? Does it share it properly?
Yeah, this is the way to do it.
So you share, you can just easily go like this and share your event in all these groups that you're following. So again, if you go to your Facebook event that you've created, you click share and you click groups. These are all the groups that Shine's a part of. So like you were saying, Simon, we highly recommend go join as many Facebook groups as you can that are relevant to you. And then you can literally go share, 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 share. And what I would recommend, if you click on that for a minute, Shine. So you have an opportunity to write a little post in here. And I would say, okay, now you're sharing, Simon, you're sharing in a food Facebook group. So say, hey, foodies, guess what? I've got this event coming up. Next group you're sharing it in is Unite Vancouver. You're like, hey, Unite Vancouver community, guess what? So do a little tailor, because if you just share this with no words, it buzzes over people, like people won't pay attention to it. So put a little personal message in there. Highly, highly recommend that.
But double check, because sometimes when you add things to the, when you add words, it then doesn't show up in the event listing. So like I've shared a bunch of times where I put the event link with a bunch of text, and then it won't actually show up as an event on the group, which
There
is
you
just a Facebook glitch, I guess, or maybe they want it that way. So yeah, either make sure it's working like that, or just share, you know, once and then the next day or whenever do it again, but just share the event. Either you can share like the link from here and just share that on Unite Vancouver as a post, or like we were saying, just share here and then to the group.
Yeah, so that's what I do, because I don't trust it always when I do the share from the event to actually populate the Facebook group with the event. So I do just make myself a little copy and paste copy, and I just plop that into each group. You also, if you add photos into your post, can you go create a post for me quick? In Unite Vancouver. So if you add photo, well, maybe I can just explain it. If you are sharing your link, you're sharing your little write-up in a group, and you, so if you share the Facebook link, and then you share a photo, then it's probably not going to work, like we said, to populate it. So you need to just share the link without a photo, at least for your first post, so that it can populate the event on the group. And then after that, I recommend going, you know, every few days, and then you share some photos, then you share some other content. So there's a couple of hacks that definitely I find a lot of people don't use. Other things you can always do too is whenever I share, make sure you're tagging. Can you go back?
Where?
To make a post. When you're sharing your event here, so this is Shine's sharing, but he's also, this is Unite is Shine's business page. So I always tag my business page in everything as well. Why won't it let you tag Unite within? Anyway, it's not letting him tag right now, but I always tag my business page. And then when you share it, then when you share the post, it says Shine is with Kristall, Shine is with Unite, Shine is with, and that's also going to show up on my feed now, show up on Unite's feed, etc. So make sure you're tagging your business page, or if you're using your business page, tag your personal page, tag your co-hosts page, basically everybody, tag everybody here. And also when you're writing the post, you could write a post and say, Kristall and I are so excited to be hosting this event. And of course, do at Kristall. You know, Unite is so excited to be hosting this event. So do at Unite. And then when people read the post as well, then they can click on that hyperlink. I think Unite Within is what we need to do on Facebook, right? Anyway, what's nice about that is then when people read the post, they can click on my business page right there as well and go see what else my business page is about. So that's basically, those are the things that I do every single time. It adds a few extra steps to your marketing, but if you're already going to be posting in groups, might as well do it, I feel like, properly, and actually get don't close this, actually get the results you want. Another thing you can do is if you've set yourself like 4 hours to do a bunch of marketing, but you don't want to be posting in the same group, people can do scheduled posts in other groups or only in your groups?
I don't know.
If you're able to, in our groups, we can, Shine needs to go to another group, see if we can do scheduled posts. No, you can't. Oh, yeah, you can. No. Okay, never mind. If it's your own group, you can schedule posts, which we do. Oh, but you can schedule posts on your events.
Yeah.
So that's something, I know I'm kind of jumping around all over the place here, but if you're making a post on your event, that's another thing. I was talking with Theta and helping her with her event, and she didn't realize you could schedule posts. So sometimes I'll do that where I want to put a bunch of content on my event.
But don't do too much at once. I tried to do like a week in advance, and it blocked me from it. It sort of took that as I was spamming everyone all at once, and it just blocked me from making posts for a week or something crazy.
Yeah, so Facebook can be a little bit Russian roulette at some point. We've also had that where I think I posted in 50 groups in one day and I got banned for a week. So I think if you're, doing your basic sharing in a few groups, you're just kind of spread it out a little bit. So, maybe share in 10 or 15. I've been doing 30 now, so I wonder if they've changed that. But yeah, they have their feelings about that. Maybe we should see if there's some questions before we.
We just went to a couple of groups, and this is our event for New Year's. So say you just posted in 30 groups or 20 groups or whatever. Now what you can do is you go to your event that you've been promoting, you go invite.
Oh yeah.
And then in here, there's lists that you can create. So suggested, these are all suggested is Facebook created, but all the rest under here, Vic Connect, Vic Hubs, these are all ones that I've created over the years.
So and that's basically a list you can create of, all your friends from one city or from one community. Then you can automatically see those people and invite those people.
And then there's events you attended. So these are things that you've said that you're going to or you're interested in, events you've hosted. So you can go back and invite everyone from the last event once you get a good list going.
That's also why it's really useful to make Facebook events, because then you can, like Shine said, then you can, actually go invite people who came to your last event and who came to your last event.
And then the last two groups we went to are the Health and Wellness and the Unite Vancouver. And so you see those are right at the top. So as soon as you open a new group in a tab, you don't even have to post in it. It'll start populating it. And so you just go to the bottom, you click more, and you click on the Unite Vancouver, and then you click select all, and it'll do like 50 or so of the people in there. And we already know we want to do that for this one. So you just click send, and you just have to kind of go back and do it over again. And it's annoying. It's a Facebook quirk, but
some people, Shine and I have been limited to 500 to 50 invites, but a lot of people, if you haven't done a lot of inviting, you can often get 500, which is really nice. And what Shine didn't say is these people he's inviting, these are only his friends. So these are his Facebook friends. So it doesn't let you invite everyone in that group, but it's letting us invite everybody in that group who we're friends with. So another thing we highly recommend doing is when you join a group, especially if you want to build up your Facebook friends list, is go, and you could do this with your Facebook business page if you don't want to fill up your personal page, but go see anyone in that group who's doing something that looks similar or who looks like they might be your target audience, and go friend them and start building a connection, because then those people forever you can keep inviting to these things because they're going to be your friends and they'll show up when you go to those groups. Mm-hmm. Do we want to see if there's some questions?
Yeah.
Awesome. Did we lose everyone? I feel like that was a bit of a rapid fire. Oh, wow. The screen's got, oh, there we go. How was that for everyone? Good, a lot, slow it down.
It was a lot, but it was all very, very relevant.
Awesome. For Theta and Camille, who just joined us, we're just reassuring everyone that we're recording this. There's going to be, so you'll get the recording, you'll also get the transcription of it written out as well, for you as well, Heather. So you don't need to worry about taking notes unless that helps you retain it right now. So you're going to have access to all this as well. And yeah, so we just started here with a quick brain dump of Facebook events, and Shine has something to share.
So Simon, so your focus is how, so what we've realized from our events is there's a few different things that will sort of get a bunch of people to pay attention to it. One is some sort of celebrity. So we'll host Perengi or Deodova or someone with a big name, and that'll bring a lot of sales in. One is a really cool experience. So we'll host at the planetarium, Science World, that'll bring a lot of people. Just the venue, just changing the venue doubles the sales, at least, if it's a cool venue. And then this one today is our first, or one of our first forays into like more targeted, like specific problem, specific solution kind of thing. And we've done some of that, but not really as much. So when you're thinking about sort of how to find the people that might buy a Kangen, I feel like there's a few different layers to it. There's like the hosting an event for, are you worried about the quality of your water? Do you want the best water? Like really specific, go for those people, host a free info session, promote that. I'm getting confused. Promote the free info session and get a bunch of people on there, and then at the info session you can sell them the paid offering if you want. And then if you want to go a little bit broader, there's things that you could do, like start a podcast or host a big wellness like online conference or seminar and bring in some experts around different aspects of health and wellness or around different aspects of water, or whatever you want. And that can kind of bring in, a broader community. So I think it has to really resonate with you.
Mm-hmm.
What we've noticed is that if you're not excited, if we wouldn't go to the event we're creating, it's really hard to sell it. It's hard to like get behind it and promote it, because it does feel, for us at least with the past bit, it does take a lot of like one-on-one, a lot of sharing. It just seems like there's so much going on that it's helpful for people to see it a bunch of times and to sort of make that final decision to buy a ticket. And so figuring out like what you're most excited about. If you want to, really teach people, then, host these webinars. If you want to really just dive deep one-on-one with experts, host a podcast or host, like a online summit. If you want to have, big event, just host like a wellness fair and have the water as like a vendor. And so there's lots of different ways. And so I feel like it's really important to find that unique thing that you really love. And the only thing that I would really say is, if you're going to run an event, and you're going to put in the effort anyways, if you like, when we've done events that haven't really been super exciting for us, and it hasn't really been a cool venue, and there's no celebrity there, and it just feels kind of flat, and then it's always fun on the day, but it doesn't have that same like oomph, and the sales aren't the same as when we like really amp it up. And so picking the right thing to do for you is really important. I would say like that is as important and can literally double or more, the impact, the revenue, the everything. And so taking the time to really narrow down like what the container will be, what the event style will be, I think is really important.
And thanks for sharing that, honey. And don't let it paralyze you to the point where you don't do anything. So for Shine, he'll get, kind of get a great download, get a really like great inspiration. And for me, often it comes from, if I start a little bit, just start a little momentum, and then I can kind of like find the flow of it. So for me, sometimes trying to get the big vision is actually overwhelming. So you can see which approach works for you.
Yeah.
For me, it's really kind of like, okay, if I can just get the details of like, do I want to do online or in person? Do I want to, do I want to be talking, or do I want other people to talk, or do I want to have both? And just giving myself some parameters. And I feel like that's where, if you can get comfortable with using the AI tools, Shine was talking about his favorite one is Perplexity, the AI tool. That's one of his favorite things for really helping to kind of just, he has a conversation with it, and he's really like, hey, Perplexity, I want to host an event. I want to share about this product that I like. I like talking. I don't really like too much structure, blah, blah, blah. What kind of event should I do? And actually get it. And it gives you feedback and it gives you thoughts. So if you don't have a human to do that with too, we do a lot of that together. Perplexity is great for that. What my thought too would be, like my mom said there at the beginning, what's your why? Why do you use Kangen? Why do you think it's really great? Because there's many Kangen water distributor. There's many people that will be, a more articulate picture than you. There's many people that are going to have more cool facts than you will, but you're going to resonate with people who have a similar why to you and who are having the same problem that you had. So whether you came to Kangen because you wanted to help your health, or you were worried about your water, or you saw it as an amazing business opportunity and a way to really support people in their healing with this product. So kind of getting, because that's going to be where you have the most comfort. So that's comfortable for you. And that's where I would start with your first webinars and your first early events. Is just what's most comfortable for you. And even if this is your very first foyer into hosting events, I would really recommend, just so you can get some feedback from, like, invite, make a public event, try and get some, people to come who you don't know, but also reach out to your friends and be like, hey guys, I could really use your support. This is my first time hosting this event. This is my first time pitching. This is my first time sharing it. Would you come? Populate the screen so it's not me and like one or two other people, because that can be a fear, right? We're like, I'm going to put this event up, and what if only 2 people show up? I'm going to look like an idiot. Oh my God. So just kind of soften that with like, hey, mom, can you come on the call with us? Hey, someone, can you come on the call? And then you can also get their feedback of like, what did you like? What did I do well? What could I do better? And just create that kind of support for yourself. So how can you make it more comforting, more easy, more feeling like this is just, you in a conversation with your friends, and then it doesn't become this big pressure thing. So I think those kind of things, getting clear, like Shine said, on what's your why and what type of event do you want to offer? Because like you said, there's so many angles you can come at with Enagic, with a water filtration system. And also what we find too with our events is sometimes the thing you're selling, the thing you're offering, actually you want to Trojan horse that into your event. Because if it just feels like, oh, it's going to be a thing where I'm going to be talked at about something I should do, do I want to do that? Okay. But if it's like, hey, come on, let's connect, let's have some fun conversations, let's learn some new things, let's keep it feeling exciting and informative. And especially, we always are huge fans of collaborating. So again, if this is your first event, why not find somebody else who has another wellness offering that is also super cool, and you guys could do a joint event where you talk about water and nutrition. So you get a nutritionist on, or you talk about water, and you pair up with a couple other people. And then instead of just people looking at your event and go, I don't really care about this element, I'm not joining, they can be like, oh, there's this element and that element and that element. Cool, this is a fun, like, wellness vibe. So I really recommend that as well. And that can then, if you don't have a business partner that you're working with, like Shine and I have, then you might have somebody else who's co-hosting with you, who's got some skills to support where you're lacking as well. How's that feel?
Someone to tag in your boat.
That makes a lot of sense, and I'm so glad you guys brought those options up. You guys know Bodhi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been talking to him about wanting to do some podcasts actually, and we've actually been talking about bringing in guests within his circle and within my circle, and just like anybody who has a topic that they're passionate about that they want to share. So that is definitely something that I'm looking at doing. My question would be, do I market it the same way as I would with the other events that you kind of already showed me how to, do the like sharing the events, blah, blah, blah. Like, would it be the same for a podcast versus like with a webinar that I was originally planning?
It depends. I mean, we do our podcast as an event, so it's a live audience with a Q&A at the end after we interview the guests. So we market our podcast like an event. I think if it's not an event, I wouldn't market it as an event. I would market it more with clips. So I'll show you guys a tool. This will be really helpful for everyone. So when you entire screen, when you create when you create your podcast, by the way, we use this one, creators.spotify.com. And basically, it's super easy. You go create a new episode. You either upload a video or an audio file, or you can even record it like right in here in their thing. And so what I do is we will record our podcast on Zoom, and that allows us to go live on a there's a few different options of going live, and then I'll get the recording, and I'll usually get it sent to my computer, not the Zoom cloud, because I'll just have to download it afterwards anyways. And then you can upload that directly to YouTube. And so you have your long form content on YouTube, you upload the video, and then once that's done, you get the YouTube link. You go into, I use opus.pro, and you just drop the link. You can also upload a file, any of these platforms it works. And then when you get in there, basically what it does is it will create these little clips of the thing. So this was a 20-minute
Facebook Live
that Kristall,
Instagram Live.
Yeah, that Kristall and I did. And so we just uploaded the video, and it, in about 20 minutes, it will give you these titles, the write-up, and then you can publish it. Obviously, you can listen to it, see how it is. It does the
closed captioning, which is pretty good. It's pretty accurate.
It's pretty
Sometimes
good.
it messes them up a bit.
You can edit it, you can change it, you can make it start, sooner or end later. There's a few different things. I usually have the pro if we're using it a lot. And then you click publish on social, and you can literally publish it to LinkedIn, to TikTok, to Instagram.
Do you have to populate you have to populate it with all your accounts?
No. Oh yeah, you have to give it access.
Yeah, so you have to give the program access to all your accounts, so then you can see them all there.
So from a 20-minute video, this gave us I don't know how many that is, but probably 20 or more short, 30 seconds, 19 seconds, 40 seconds clips. And then what you can do is either schedule them to go on your Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, etc. All the short form video content. You can schedule them to go on your event. You can obviously send them to people if they're really, really relevant. And that's sort of how I would more do the podcast if it wasn't an event style, rather than sharing it like an event.
And so then you would use those little short videos to promote the next one, to promote your upsell, to promote whatever the next element is that you're doing. So what we love about that, we often will do a Facebook Live or an Instagram Live to do quite a few of those before our events. And that just helps our community, especially if you have a little bit of a following, it pops up. They do, the algorithms do a good job of popping up those lives nicely. So it's much more than when you just share a link. So we go live like, you know, hey, we just launched our event, you know, come check out the page. And then we'll do another live of like, hey, meet the co-host. And then we'll do another live of like, you know, whatever, talking about the different elements. So we don't always, you know, talk about the same thing, of course, on each one, but we're, you know, so we did an event with Theta at Mahi Wellness last week. And, you know, we did some lives where we talked with Mahi and the scalar technology, and then we'll do some posts where we're talking about Theta and her offering, and then some things about the combination. So really always trying to kind of break
Oh, sorry, did we just lose you? Oh, we're back. That was weird. Sorry. It did the wrong thing.
Okay, can you hear
Apologies.
us now? Yay, awesome.
Nice.
So that was something that I think Jason said at the beginning, that he didn't want to be
Oh, hold on.
spammy.
Are you recording?
Are we still recording?
Close screen record.
Yes, yeah. That was something Jason said, is he didn't want to be spammy, and that's the number one way not to be spammy, is don't share the same stuff every day.
Yeah.
Always share something different, a different element, because everything you're doing is so complex. There's so many elements to it. So speak to it from different angles, different perspectives, highlight different features, and that way you are offering value too. So that's another thing that we do that helps, I think, our content not feel spammy, is we try every piece of content should be valuable. It should be useful. It should be sharing a little tidbit, sending someone to a cool resource, sharing an idea, building a connection. You know, if you're not sure what to do, you can be like, hey, comment in my post and let me know what you like to do with your water, whatever, like some kind of engagement. So it's not just post, and I'm just hoping for eyes. It's like I'm actually putting in the effort to connect a little bit, to engage a little bit, to offer some value, to offer some insights. And especially with a machine like Enagic, where there is tons of research and tons of other material, you can always be linking back to the science. You can always be sending people to that other information as well, and really looking at it like, you know, the point of what you're doing in your events is to share this information. So sharing it from other perspectives as well can be, you know, it might resonate with someone who doesn't resonate with another piece of it. So, yeah.
So this was a live we did with Mahi. And so you see we added Mahi.
This is on Instagram.
On Instagram. So we went live. We did about 20 minutes. Someone bought a ticket on the live, and then someone bought a ticket right after. And it was, you know, 20 minutes, and that made $200. So it was a cool little experiment, and you can add people as collaborators on Instagram. It's similar when you're on your phone too, but it's under tags, I believe. Maybe I'm losing it. 5 people. Yeah, it's under this add collaborators, add tags, and then you can tag people on the thing as well.
And does the person need to accept?
And they have to accept. Theta, you didn't accept us.
So
we forgive you.
That's my old account. That's why.
That's funny.
It's inactive.
Yeah, no
there
worries.
you go.
So I can't. You have to do the Theta.Phoenix.
Yes.
We'll add the new ones. Yeah, so definitely adding Facebook Lives, Instagram Live, whatever platform you're doing, incorporating that into your marketing strategy, we find highly effective when you have a following. So we've got a following. If you don't have any following yet, maybe less point to do it, although actually still doing it, you are creating video, which then you can do what Shine just said, and you can chop that up and use it for content in any form that you want. So in that respect, it's really helpful. And what's fun with the lives too is sometimes a friend will come on and you probably can't show how to add people to a call. I think it's pretty simple though when you're on Facebook Live.
I actually made a post about this.
Nice.
So if you guys go to our page, our Unite page, and you click on the one.
You don't need to go now.
No, not now, but later, just so it's in your thing. This is
that the one with me?
This is me teaching people how to go live and add someone else to the call. So you could do this, you can make like an impromptu podcast, you can do a live and then it splits the screen. Like when Kristall will join, it'll split the screen.
I didn't know you were sharing that publicly.
Yeah. And then it goes out to both people's followings.
Yeah.
And so that's a great way is partner up with someone who wants to be interviewed for them to get the content and for them to help spread the word. And then if they have a larger following, then it's win-win for everyone.
And so what you're also creating, like I was just saying about Simon and wanting to kind of add value, is when you go live and if other people join in the moment, and then you can have a conversation with them. And what you're doing is you're creating those, like, what did it was a call and they were using a word, magical synchronicity. Anyway, we were talking about the word. Basically, it's, two people, they just happen to be on at that time. You just happen to be on and you create those beautiful synchronicities, right? So you don't know that person might not have had any interest in what you're doing, but they just got the inspiration to come on. You add them to your call. You have an impromptu chat about, hey, I'm just sharing about my super cool event that's coming up. What event? Really? You're doing that? Oh my goodness. I was just saying to someone earlier today that I want to do something like this, and here you are. So we find so much of our marketing. You can use all these tips, you can share, you can do all this stuff, but so much of what we do is the relationship building in the moment when the synchronicities come up. So see like every opportunity as a way to, you don't know where that relationship's going to go. So put in the time to connect with people. And that's going back to what I was saying earlier, when you message every single person who's interested or going on your event. I message everyone, I friend everyone, unless I can tell they're like some spammy bot. I send a friend request to everybody. And then I'm like, so happy that you're excited about my event. What do you do? Where are you from? We're building relationship, we're connecting. So if that's something that, you don't know where that's going to go and what that connection is going to grow into. And I always make sure that I am like, oh, you're from Kelowna. I have a cool group in Kelowna. Feel free to join that. So you can do the same thing. You're like, oh, you're whatever, like, oh, I have my music. Theta's like, oh, it's so lovely to connect with you. I just have some free music on Spotify. If you, are into some cool music, feel free to check it out, right? So then you're marketing to them technically, but you're actually giving them a gift of free music on Spotify. That's awesome. I can follow a new artist. Theta's amazing. I love it. Or Camille, she's amazing. Do you have music on Spotify, Camille? Yeah. So I actually haven't followed Camille on Spotify and I don't have her music. So if she had sent me a message and be like, hey, Kristall, love you. By the way, check out my music on Spotify, I would be following Camille. So there's just so many times when we can engage and connect, and really seeing all those opportunities as relationship building. And that really helps me take it away from feeling like I'm spamming and marketing and pushing just the same thing. Buy my ticket, buy my ticket, buy my ticket, come to my thing. And it's like, oh, maybe they'll come. We've had people who have been following us for years and before they'll actually come and show up to something, but they're still engaged. They're still seeing what we're doing and they're still benefiting from us. And it sometimes is like slow burn and sometimes it's right away. So you never know.
Jennifer, are you open to go next?
Sure.
Yay. And we'll do a intro with you guys, Theta and Camille as well.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna go around and just kind of quickly chat with everyone a little bit.
Yeah, we're just making sure that we did an intro at the beginning, and now we're making sure that obviously some of these points are going to cross over for everyone, and then there'll be some specific things for each people. So we want to make sure we get those covered as well. So out of all that, Jennifer, where do you feel like we're still missing a piece for you that you'd love to get clarity on?
It's a lot of great information, and it's a lot. So
Yeah.
So I've been making notes and stuff, but
Yeah.
I'm a lurker. I'm not someone who does a lot on social media, and I'm trying to get past that and get in there more and do more social media stuff. So by the sounds of it, Facebook and Instagram are sort of where you're saying we should be focusing.
I'll jump in. So Facebook and Instagram are where most of our connections are currently. However, TikTok and LinkedIn, for example, there's more potential to kind of go viral more easily on those ones, and we tend not to use them as much because we have built ourselves enough of a following. But as we're doing more stuff that's more global and built for larger audiences, like a big summit for 20,000 people or whatever online, we'll be using more of, and with those, I think there's a consistency piece where if you use it regularly, it starts to grow. I'll show you guys something crazy.
Just while you're doing that, just the other thing is your audience. So a lot of our audience is a little bit of an older community. So we're looking, most of the people who are coming to wellness events are often women in their 30s to 60s is kind of the target demographic. Although we actually have much larger population of men than a lot of wellness communities we know. So we're really proud of that. But a lot of those people like us, we grew up on Facebook, so it's much more comfortable than TikTok or Instagram. So if you are looking for a younger audience, then definitely those platforms are probably more useful to engage in as well. So what platform are you on, Shine?
So this is just to give you a sense of the algorithm of this is particularly Spotify, but I'm guessing most platforms have a similar algorithm where these dots at the bottom are all of the episodes that we created. And so over the time, we created the most episodes sort of up until the peak. And when we started to slow down on episode creation, you can see that immediate downward in terms of and this is all organic reach from people browsing on Spotify. So it'll still give the people who search specifically for whatever our podcast is about, they'll find it. But as soon as we stopped creating as much, they stopped giving us as much organic reach. Yeah. So there's something about using these platforms ongoing and building that momentum, and obviously it has to be something that you actually like and is fun. And so using TikTok every day and figuring out kind of what's going on over there. And it's Gary Vee talks a lot about this, where it's it's a kind of about it's like going to a different party or a different room. Like you behave differently at the White House than you do at a kegger, than you do at a sound bath. And so learning the room of what are these different platforms? Why are people here? And how can I be part of the conversation instead of just dumping my stuff and it kind of falls flat or it feels like spammy or whatever?
Yeah. So we find if you love doing a lot of content creation, if you love really building that kind of virality in that community, the platforms that are more geared to that, like Instagram and TikTok, those are going to be great for you. For us, we love a lot more of that relationship building. And for me, I find Facebook is a much easier place to do that. And I love the Facebook groups. I love group chats. We do a lot of group chats and the integration with Messenger. So I find Instagram is not as easy for me with that, but that's maybe because I'm also old and I grew up with that. So yeah, so really kind of seeing what's the demographic. But if you're really purely wanting to do like Simon, if you're wanting to do a lot of just content on information, education about Enagic, about the water system, that could be a place where you could generate a lot of eyeballs on the content. And then especially if you're sending people to a free webinar or a free kind of offering, you could send people to,
Sorry, this is our first time on Google Meet. It's being silly.
So again, we are technology pretty savvy. So when you're doing something and it's not working, don't get frustrated with yourself. It may be you, it may be the technology. Give yourself some patience and a break.
So
hello, Shine.
Can you guys see this?
No, it doesn't look like it.
Am I sharing?
You guys are just seeing us, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Let's try again.
Boom.
So many tabs open.
TikTok. You guys see it?
There you go.
Nice.
Yes.
So I don't think it's showing here, but on the app, it has the ability to it actually links to the Eventbrite event. And so in the
On which app?
in the TikTok app, you can say link to event, you search for the name of the event, and if it's on Eventbrite, you can just click it, and people can literally click from the app right to the Eventbrite. So there's things like that that you can learn that different, and that's not available on Facebook or TikTok in the same way. And so there's some unique things for different platforms.
Does Facebook, when you go Facebook Live, can you link to the Facebook event?
I don't know. Probably like in the description, you can tag it. Yeah.
That might be an AI question.
No, yeah.
You mean Instagram? You can't do that, but you can on TikTok.
Yeah, yeah. As far as I know,
Yeah.
Instagram's weird with links.
You can't do links in the posts.
Yeah, you can't do links in the post. And if you don't know about there's a new thing on Instagram where now you can add, instead of having a link tree, you can add multiple links to your Instagram page. And then when people go there and you say link in bio, when they click on your links, there's multiple.
Yeah, because it used to be you would have to change it if you want to feature an event, and then when your next event's coming up, you'd have to change that.
Well, that's why they kind of built link trees, because TikTok literally only allowed you one link in your bio, and now they do
to update that. There's a Theta event
in
there.
Exactly.
Oh, you're muted, Theta.
It's okay. I was like, yeah, we got to put the new event in there now.
Exactly right. The 21st winter solstice. Come see Theta. Yeah.
Jennifer, sorry, that was kind of a detour from your first sentence. So continue.
Yeah, so I guess you're kind of diving into that in the sense of, like, how are you collecting payments then? Like, where are you directing people to actually take payments for these events then? Are you using Eventbrite, or like what's your method from here? Because that's where I'm also kind of struggling.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, Eventbrite is our go-to when we need multiple ticket types or we want to have tracking links or affiliates and things like that. If we need
a big event,
more robust stuff. And then we've also built a ticketing platform through Unite where people can do that. And so when you go to unite.love, which is
for anyone who doesn't know, unite.love is our website that we've built, and we are creating it to basically be able to do what all these platforms are doing in one place. So eventually we see us not needing to use 18 different platforms. We see us being able to all use one platform. So www.unite.love, and you can host, can I continue? Yeah. So we've got it right now. So you can share events, and you can share, basically it's a pretty similar portal to create an event like you do on Facebook or on Eventbrite. So the limitations we have right now is we don't have multiple ticket options. So if you want to have, a full price ticket and then an extra package with this and an add on with that, we don't have that option yet. What we do though is we actually just create the Facebook or the Unite event, and then we actually create a Unite product if we want a different ticket price, and then we just link it, as you can see here, what Shine's doing. We link it in the event.
Sorry, it's not allowed. It's opening in a new tab. This is so silly.
It won't,
sorry,
the sharing with this Google Meet is not quite as easy as the.
It's annoying, yeah. Entire screen.
There we go. So basically what we'll do, so we can help you with that. And the nice thing if you use Unite is instead of giving so we do the same thing that Eventbrite does, is we don't charge you to use the platform, but we charge a percentage of the sale. So you can send your money to Eventbrite, or you could send it to Unite for us to keep building this. So we've got a comparable matching the fees. So it's
lower fees.
Lower fees. So
much lower.
It's much cheaper to use us. And the beautiful thing with using the Unite platform is we are going to do extra marketing for you if you're on the platform. So we include links in our emails to see the events on Unite. And we also will support you in getting your offerings on there. So if you need any hand-holding support, we're 100% there for you.
Yeah, and then with the oh, here we go. So Shine, say with the Eventbrite, it's really it is pretty simple. What Eventbrite does really well is their email. So you can actually send emails through Eventbrite, and you just upload your list, and you can have multiple lists and send them to one or all of them. And on MailChimp, we were getting about 20 to 25% open rates, and on Eventbrite we're getting like 30 to 40 consistently. So it's just a much higher open rate for some reason. I think it has to do with Eventbrite emails being less likely to be marked as spam by the email provider, the like Gmail or whoever marks it as spam, because everyone is getting Eventbrite emails for their tickets, for their reminders, and so it doesn't want people not to get those, and so it lets more of them through, whereas it knows that anything from MailChimp is an email list, and so it's much easier to just say, oh, that's for public spam, and people don't want to see that. So that's the big thing that we use Eventbrite for. Yeah, go ahead.
And what you can do if you want to support Unite and still want the robust usage of Eventbrite is we actually host on both. So we'll have in our event description on Facebook, we'll say, click here to go to the Eventbrite page, or save fees, support Unite, click here, go to Unite.
Yeah.
So we give people both options. So that's, something that we're happy to walk you through and, give you some support with if you'd be willing to do that. Because like we said, the more people unite, the more people come to Unite. Everyone on Unite is now part of a community. So it's like our Unite Vancouver Facebook group, except everybody on there will be able to see every offering that's there, not just yours. So we're really growing the community together.
Yeah.
Instead of when you send people to Eventbrite, you're not, unless they go follow you on Eventbrite, you're not supporting the algorithm or building the community, really. You're just sending them there to spend their money. So let us know. We can definitely, reach out to us later, and we can help you with all those steps and get you on Unite. And yeah, it looks great for us, for investors as well, the more activity we have on Unite. So the more activity, the more growth, the more investors we get in, the faster we grow this, and the sooner you will be on one platform.
Yeah. And our team is working on getting multiple ticket types and different things on the events as well. We haven't started building yet, but we will soon. If you do host events on Unite, then we'll also do collab posts with you. And so there's tickets for this one on Unite, and same for this one with, and so they put the link there, and it'll link in the stories. So we'll do partnerships with the people who are hosting their events on Unite.
Yeah, so then that gets shared to our 3,500 Facebook or Instagram people as well. So we'll give you extra juice if you work with us.
Yeah.
5,000 followers.
Did it? Was it? Oh, maybe that was us following.
Yeah, 5,000.
There you go. Yeah. Thank you, Theta. Make sure we get the stats right. Yeah. So does that answer your question, Jennifer, about next steps and payments?
Yeah. So then basically you would still do like a Facebook event, and then you would just use Unite as a link for payment and booking.
Exactly. So the Facebook event, think of the Facebook event like a container where basically everyone is, you're in that event page, you are sharing, there's a description. So you're sharing about the event. You can share posts on that event page. So you can share, like I said, different, okay, here's one post about Theta, one post about the venue, one post about, why we're doing it and how cool it is. So it's a place where you can basically, and everybody who's in that, who says they're interested in that event, will get a notification when content is shared there. So that's important. And then in that Facebook event, it has, what does it say, ticket link or whatever, when you're creating your Facebook event, and then you can put the ticket link, whichever one you want to prioritize. I think we always link it to Eventbrite because that's the easiest one for most people. But then in the description, we add both links so people can see both the options. So think of the Eventbrite or Unite is not, instead of doing the Facebook event, the event is your holding spot, like a mini website about this event, about this offering. And with your Facebook events, make sure you make everyone who's collabing with you a co-host of that event, because then that event you can see all the co-hosts at the bottom of the event page. It pops up on their feed, so-and-so's hosting an event. So definitely make your business page a co-host, make everyone a co-host.
And also every time anyone says they're interested or going, it shows up as a post on someone else's feed, potentially. So if I say I'm interested in your event, my followers will see your event.
Yes.
And that I'm going. So there's a lot of value in using it that way.
There's a ton of value in that. Like Shine was saying, the more we engage, the more it builds the algorithm. So we always say we're going. I always say, especially I'm going to anyone's event that I think is going to have an audience similar to my audience, whether, in Vancouver or if it's an online event. Basically, then, like Shine said, then you can see I can see all my Facebook friends who are interested in Theta's sound bath, and I can invite them to another sound bath I'm hosting. When you were back where we were showing earlier, where you can see the different groups who, I'm not articulating it. When you're on your Facebook event and you hit invite, and then you have the options on the sidebar like Shine was showing before, and you can see the past groups that you clicked on, you can see the past events you hosted, and you can see the past events you attended. So when I say I'm interested on Theta's event page, even though I may never attend her event, it's now going to show up in Theta. If Theta looks at events I hosted, she can see I was one of those people. So she can now remarket to me something that she thinks is similar, that might be in the same realm. So it's kind of giving you a pre-made list as well. Yeah.
And something that our friend Brittany Michaelchuk, who is an amazing event host and promoter, something that she started doing was adding everyone who was coming to an event to a Instagram group chat. And so we started doing that as well for our events. And sometimes we'll do it on Facebook, sometimes we'll do it on Instagram. But that was really great. And you can just, add people. You can add a note in Eventbrite to let people know to send you their Instagram once they register and things like that. And that was really nice because it sort of built the community, and she would do fun giveaways in the chat and, just sort of like building up to it. And then she was also very generous and sort of intentional with giving away tickets to influencers.
Yes.
So people who could promote for her and with her, she would just say, hey, come to the event. Or she would do, first event is free for anyone who's coming. And she would get 100 people to show up to an event, and not everyone had paid, but then there would be some sort of upsell for their monthly thing, or people would come back and pay for the next event. And so she was consistently getting 100+ people to these really nice, beautiful events. And she just had a really amazing way of sort of managing it all and promoting it. And she said that text messages were actually her favorite thing, that just sending people a text was the most effective tool versus a email, a Facebook message, an Instagram message, a pop-up notification, etc.
And that's something that you can gather people's phone numbers when they buy a ticket on Eventbrite. So you can put that in your information. They have to, put in their email address, and you can have it mandatory or, an option to add their phone number, and then you can add them to a list. She had a bot that did the texting. So I haven't done that, but I'm sure ChatGPT or the AI thing would have some great recommendations for a text bot as well. So that's another option. I was just getting the sense that we've fire hosed you with a whole bunch of information. So I feel like everyone take a deep breath. Remember, you don't have to do all of this. Remember, this is 9 years worth of stuff that we've built up, and we don't do all of these elements. So what we want to do here is we want to share with you a bunch of options, and we want you to pick one that works, because if you pick one and do one thing, that's one thing more than you're already doing. And then once you master that and feel comfortable with that, you can add another one and add another one, but don't feel like, okay, this is to be successful, I've got to do all of these things. It's really, really not. And sometimes it's taken ages for me to get into one platform or one idea, and still I don't like Instagram. It just doesn't resonate with me. So Shine does all our Instagram, and that's just I'm not going to happen. I'll do Facebook. So really, like we've said before, if you're hating it and if you're frustrated with it, do something different. If it's not for you, you can try it for a minute, but really if it's just a drag and just a pain and just a frustration, it's not worth you being crazy, making yourself crazy about it. And I always feel like everything I send into the world, of course, we know energetically, but every piece of content, every engagement is also my energy going into the world. So if you're pissed off, frustrated when you're doing it, remember that's what you're sending out. So really, really, the point of all this is to make it more easeful and relaxing and joyful and fun. And we really want to share with you that there's many, many options, and pick one that you like and go with that. And like Shine said, really, like, you can just do little things like liking people's posts, following them, joining their events, that, like, just, saying your interest in those events, those little connections, those build your algorithms as well. So any kind of like little engagement. I talk with my son whenever he's trying to learn something new. I'm like, just give yourself whatever your baseline is for what you would normally do. I'm working with him on like socializing and being more engaged, because he can be a little bit introverted. And I'm like, so if somebody walks in and you'd normally say hi, and then they would say hi, and then you would turn around and wouldn't continue, take it one step further. Say one more thing. Say, how are you? Say, it's a nice day. And that just, stretching yourself one piece further. So I feel like if that's the only thing you do from this call, hopefully that's going to, just every time you're engaging with social media, just do one step more, just do one step further, or set yourself like, this week I'm going to, work on this piece, and that week on the next piece. So yeah, being gentle.
Jennifer, was there anything else specific before we move on to the next person?
Just last thing was just around, like, just really kind of niche down. That's, I guess, been my struggle with social media, is that, it's going out to the world, and I'm really wanting to build a community in Langley. So it's really trying to find people that are local, that are buying into this, and that are the right fit. You guys did touch on it, but I have had that experience where you get people in and they aren't quite the right fit, doesn't resonate with them, and it just, I want to be bringing in the right people. So how to really target those people?
Nice. That's a great question. If you're especially looking to build a local audience, so in Langley, I would show up to every single Langley event you can that resonates with you. So any kind of like connection, marketing, social gathering, because then that's our favorite way of creating our local community. And we go shopping for people. So I go to other people's events and I'm like, oh, they've got a good vibe. They've got a good vibe. They've got a good vibe. And so we go to, fairs and markets and things, and we'll just like, who resonates, who has that same vibe. We love wellness fairs. We love, health shows and markets for that. So kind of think about, where do you go to meet people you like? Where are the things that you're interested in? And then people who are like you are going to be at those things as well. So that's the first thing. I would just kind of like find, where you can go. And lots of people do free meetups and free teas and free, business networking things, and just try. And even if you go and it's like a wellness business networking and everyone's very businessy, but there's one person and you're kind of like, you look, she's wearing a mala, and you're like, oh yeah, we're on, I see you. And there you go. There's your one friend, right? So I always dress a little bit extra for who I'm like, what am I wanting to resonate? So yeah, if I'm going to a business event, I want to look, like a professional, but I'm going to throw on my mala. I'm going to throw on a little piece of like sacred geo jewelry. I'm going to like feel like bring a lovely shawl and resonate that vibe as well. So then the same way you're going to brand your marketing material, so it has it resonates with you and you feel like it's a reflection of you. So then other people who are like that are going to be in a similar wavelength. When you show up, I do that, you go to the grocery store, you see someone else wearing a mala, like, hey, love your mala, right? Like, those people are doing the same thing. They're advertising, this is who I am. So connect with people that way. And what was the other part of that question?
You can.
There was one of how do you build your local audience? But I thought it was a 2-part question, and I had something I wanted to add.
Yeah, it was just really targeting the right people and locally.
Nice.
It's basically
yes. And what I was going to add, thank you, was on doing the work like we were talking with Simon to get clear on as close as you can to your why. And so with your work, which may be broad, then also how you said breath work, right? It's part of what you're doing. So breath work right now is very broad and it's great. It's very on trend. Everyone's really excited about it, but it's from so many angles, from health and wellness to almost like psychedelic experiences to biohacking, right? So you can use breath work because it's a great catchword, but then this is why I like it. This is the modality. This is the point that I'm really good at. And you can talk a bit in the broad, but really think about what resonates with me, because the people that resonate with you are going to be the ones that, if you share that message about you, you don't need to, people ask us like, how do you make sure you don't have weirdos coming to your event, or you don't have, and we're just so clear on what the vibe is that we want and who we want to attract. We make sure that everything we put out is a reflection of us and feels like something I would really say, feels like something I would really do. The image feels like it looks like me, so the great way to stay away from artificial spammy marketing, make sure it feels like you. I check when I've written something, and sometimes I can write really formally and then I read it back. Like, imagine you were reading this to your best friend, and would they be like, stop talking like such a weirdo, like, that doesn't sound like a real person. So I think for you, just getting so clear, and a great way to get clear is ask your friends for feedback. So ask them, what do you think my strengths are? What do you think? Ask, if you've had past clients or if you've done work with people before in that modality, ask them, what is it that makes me special? What is it that makes me unique? What do you like most about me and my messaging and then use that, because often other people see us clearer than we see ourselves. So that's a great way. You can use it as a little, even that could be your first event, as a little targeted, focus group where you get people just to, people who know you to come on a little group call and just ask them for their feedback. And then a lovely gift is you can offer them a free session for your next thing, or come free ticket to my next online event because you gave me your feedback. So it's a great relationship building, but that's kind of, and what we've found is pick a direction. If it resonates, go with it. And when you feel like, okay, that's not quite, I'm attracting all these people that are, swing a little the other, don't feel like you have to be married to an image or a vibe, because most people are not going to see all of you at once. They're not going to see everything you put out at once. So if you have a slightly different focus on this platform than this platform, slightly different branding, see what resonates with you, see which is attracting people that you like the vibe of more. When you put out a post and people are hearting it, that's like their community. When you put out a post and people are just like, whatever, like the comments are kind of generic or not in, then it's like, okay, so that is attracting a lot of, or debate or technical, or those aren't my people. So kind of put it out, and that's where you get the feedback too. It's been 9 years of us with Unite and our brand, and we're still doing little shifts here and there from time to time. So I think pull out whatever feels most relevant to you right now, share that, see what feedback you get. And as you create more and more content, Chat GPT and Perplexity, the AI Shine uses, you keep feeding all your content into it, and it will start to make a nice compact, it can extrapolate all that and give you like a nice taste of what it thinks your vibe is. And then you can say, write this from more of a business perspective, write this from more of a spiritual, personal perspective. And you can see too, oh, it really resonates with me when it writes it from this vibe. Maybe I am more spiritual than I thought I was. So try, experiment, play. Don't take it too seriously. And remember, something is better than nothing, always, unless it's terrible. And then you have to. But you don't want it polished. You don't want it finished, because you also don't want to attract people who want you to be polished and finished, because you're not. So if your work and what you're putting out there is very not reflective of you, when they come to you, they're also going to be disappointed. So really having it resonate and with you and be, this is where I am right now, maybe a little messy, maybe a little unsure. It's okay. And don't think that people will only pay for you or your offerings if you are perfect, because they won't, because they don't want perfect. They want you, and they want something that's going to take them from where they are just a little step up. If you're perfect, that's scary. So, yeah.
For like Langley women breathwork, is that sort of your niche?
Yeah, basically I'm like targeting middle-aged women going through midlife crisis type thing, stress, overwhelm.
So I would literally brand, I would literally brand a Facebook group like Langley breathwork ladies, or Langley breathwork ladies for trauma, or not that, but something that's very like exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And start to build that, and then have meetups, and then invite people to like a free thing. And then like you just literally exactly what you're looking for, you just build a community around that. And you can have a new Instagram page that's Langley breathwork ladies Instagram page, and it's just all very clear. And it's like, if you're living Langley, if you're a woman, if you want to know about breathwork, if you've got trauma, or you want peak performance, or you want whatever the thing that you want to specialize in, or multiple things, because you can decide that. That's like the, and then there's just so many directions you can go from that, of like hosting a bigger event, or inviting in a speaker about that, or whatever. Like you can just sort of really build that community, and then expand or create another one or whatever.
That's a great idea, to start your own Facebook group. What I would suggest is do something like Langley Women's Breathwork and Wellness Group, because I will not join anyone's group where they are the only one posting. If it's just the only thing allowed in that group is my content, unless I love you, I don't care. I want a variety. So if it's Langley Women Breathwork, and because having breathwork in the title will be great when people search breathwork, it will come up, but breathwork and other wellness offerings, modalities, whatever. And then part of the group is anyone share your breath network events, share yours. So that's what our Unite Vancouver, Unite Fraser Valley groups are. It's literally a place where we get to share our stuff, but everyone else gets to share their stuff as well. And we would not have 6,000 people in that group if it was just our content. So I feel like that's an awesome idea that Shine shared, and keep it, tell everyone like it's location specific, so you can share a podcast about breathwork, but don't share your events in Kelowna. This is for Langley women. This is the point, is to be clear with the point, be clear with the intention, but build the community. And then you can even host events through, I have a clothing swap group, and whenever I host, it's for anyone can share their clothing swaps. But whenever I host a clothing swap, I create it directly, the event, through my Facebook group. So everyone who's in that group gets a ping, hey, Kristall created an event in this group. So it's another way to really target. We don't do that in Unite Vancouver because there's way too many people. But basically, and it keeps it intimate, and it keeps it, feeling like it's really targeted for your specific audience. So, and then when you have that group, then you go to all the local Langley community groups, and you share in Langley community, and you share in Langley entrepreneurs, and you share in, and you say, hey, I just started this new group. This is the focus. Come join me. You share in Unite Vancouver or Unite Fraser Valley, because we don't have Unite Langley yet. And then anybody can then come and help you populate that group. And then you basically have a built-in audience that's already said, I care about what you're doing. I'm already in your neighborhood. I'm already your demographic. I'm a woman, and away you go. Hey,
Nice.
Good idea, honey.
Thanks. Emilio, you want to go? Unmute at the bottom there, I think. Yeah.
you're still muted. Check at the bottom of your screen.
Theta, your Facebook group? It depends on where you're what
Theta,
you're running.
Theta, why don't you unmute while Camille's figuring out how to unmute herself? And Theta, tell us what kind of Facebook group you want to do.
Camille, it's right at the bottom. There's a little microphone. You just click it should be a slider if you're on your computer.
Theta, tell us what kind of group you want to create.
I travel around, like something to do with sound healing or singing or music. Hi, Kay.
It was just because you called me Camilio, and I didn't know if it was someone named Emilio, because my name isn't Camilio. So I was like, is there someone named Emilio in this group? I wasn't sure. Did he say Kay?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that was the delay. But go ahead, Theta. You can go first.
Okay, go.
That's okay. It's cool. Just the Facebook group. So I do sound healing events all over Vancouver Island and the Lower Mainland, and sometimes like Kelowna and the Okanagan and stuff. So I'm just like, I'm just not sure what I would do.
It would depend what the intention of the group is. So if you have a big enough following where you feel like there's enough people in your sphere, because Thea's been doing this for a minute.
Yeah, a lot.
She's very well known in the community of angelic sound healing. And so if you have enough people that they just want to know what's happening and where you're at, and if you're like, I'll just share all my events as they come up, and then you can see, oh, Theta's coming back to Kelowna in December, so now I can see it in case you don't share it in whatever group it is that they normally get you from. So like if they normally follow you from, because you always share in the Kelowna wellness group, then you're kind of doubling up, and that's not necessary. But if, whatever, they don't want to be in that group anymore, but they always want to know when you come to town, that could be useful, or it could be doubling up on what you do with your email list. I would say, like I said, unless it's really you're sharing a lot of content, like educational content about sound healing, you're sharing like your free offerings to this group, like it's
Like
really
singing stuff, maybe.
Yeah, so if you're sharing a lot of engagement in that group, then it might be more valuable for people. If it's just you sharing your events, it's especially if it's a global thing. I'm like, well, I'm in Vancouver. I don't care when you're in Kelowna and when you're in these places.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I could have like a sound healing group, or I could have a singing group, and it could be like, bigger, or it could be local with events. So there's lots of
What I think would be really cool is to niche a little bit, like we were talking with Jennifer. So the niche is the women, the niche is the breath work, but then you open it up for wellness. So instead of just being a breath work group or a sound healing group for you, Theta, because that would just be a ton of people just sharing their sound healing events, I think your light language and singing is more unique to you than to a lot of sound healers, and it would weed them out a little bit. So if you had a group that was like light language and sound healing for sound bath practitioners, and then what you share in that group is a little video on you doing it, a little training, a little where other people can share about light language, other people could share about, conscious singing with their sound baths. But what that would do is it would keep it from everyone just promoting all their sound baths in your group. So if that's kind of your focus, that's, I feel like, where your specialty is, because not all most sound bath people don't sing with their, so it could be like sound bath, vocals, and light language or something, a community group. And so that way,
If you're not an angelic singer, get out.
right? And so then, because I feel like then you can share just little content like, hey, here's a little warm up I do before I start, and you can share that as like a little 1-minute clip in there, and that's value added. And then you're going to be attracting people who maybe want to incorporate this into their sound baths, but also you could be attracting other people who think sound baths are really lame if they don't have someone singing. So I'm excited to follow along Theta and other people that are going to share their sound baths that also have vocals included. So I would say if you kind of niche with the vocal point, but then also include sound baths in there, but kind of the point of this group is to share and learn and promote and encourage vocals and singing and light language with your sound baths.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I don't know if there's a Vancouver sound healing group.
Well, I sort of created one a while ago, but maybe I should resurrect it.
Yeah, it really isn't. A lot of them are more like broad wellness or
yeah, there's
community events.
that's true. Okay, I'll do
Yeah,
it.
totally. Even just that, like Vancouver sound healing,
yeah,
or something, and then you could do local ones.
I have a group. I'll just change the name, I think.
It's a thing.
I think remember to think about who do you want to attract? Do you want to attract other practitioners that will then come to your workshops to learn about singing? Or do you want to attract attendees who want to just come to events? So if you want to attract attendees and participants, make sure you're sharing more than just your stuff in that. So you want to encourage other sound healers to join the group. You want them to share their stuff. So there's a good variety. If you really want to focus on bringing in other practitioners to encourage them to, elevate their experiences with vocalizing and that kind of stuff, then I would pitch it a little bit differently. Yeah. Awesome. Love you, Theta.
Emilio.
Emilio.
Would you like to share?
Hey guys.
Love you. Good to see
Hey, I don't
you.
know why I had it written down that it started at 7, so I'm looking forward. I'm glad there's a recording because I know I missed some stuff at the beginning.
Yes.
And it felt super value as soon as I came in. I was like, wow, this is all really good stuff. I gotta get this down.
Yes.
Cool. So I mean, you want me just to share about what I'm up to and kind of events I'm doing and stuff like that?
Yeah, just kind of what avenue are you looking for support with? So what direction? We've got people doing all different types of things. So what focus are you wanting to do more of, and kind of what do you feel like is your sticking point or your pain point? And then have we covered it already, or do you want to get more into depth with something?
Okay. Well, I do sort of a few things, musically oriented. Like, for example, I just did this thing that was called a concert and workshop, and I've been sort of refining the title. Like, I think it's because I'm feeling like, I'm a singer-songwriter and a bit of a comedian and entertainer, but I also really love inviting people in for participation. So I've kind of created this interactive concert and comedy thing. And where like each month there's a new song that's released that has a theme. So like last month was Flourish. So it was Nourish and Flourish. We talked about nourishing ourselves. It ended up being mostly women. Interestingly, then I started saying, oh, maybe it's a musical women's circle, which totally triggered somebody else in the group who leads a women's circle, who brought a bunch of people from her women's circle, because she was like, that's my thing, a women's circle. So I was like, oh my God, maybe it can't be a women's circle. So anyway, then I was like, well, men could come too, but there is something special when it's just women. Anyway, and now I have a guy that just asked me if I want to collab on an event on the 28th. So I'm like, well, I guess guys are coming to that one. But anyway, it's like this interactive concert and comedy thing. And it was a great success. It was wonderful. But I tell you, it was like pulling teeth to get people to, nobody owns women's circles. I know. Well, I know, right? It was, yeah, long story. But it was, my challenge, I guess, was getting people out, because I've been like having birthday parties and singing at them for years. So like even just having people in my home and like just charging them was just a weird thing. And then I felt like to make up for it, I had to like serve all this cacao and food. And I spent like $150 on food and cacao and only charged like $25 each. And so it was like only 10 people came. So I had like $200 I'd made, and I spent most of it on food. But it was a little bit like a launch of the new concept. But like, I definitely am here to figure out how to like build my audience because I do like the workshop format. I mean, I also do gigs with my partner. We have this duo, like we're doing the Rec Beach Christmas concert. We want to do more venues around town. But I also feel like my demographic is more sort of 40 to 65-year-old women who don't necessarily want to go to the bar to see a band, you know? They'd rather go to a women's circle where they can connect with other women who are going through menopause and like have a few laughs about it, you know?
Love it.
So what you've said about joining these different groups, that's super helpful. And yeah, that's what I'm here for, is to figure out how to get more people to come out. And I'm also super interested in collaborating with other people to do stuff. You know, I've done a lot of cuddle parties in the past too. I'm also a body worker, but and I've done improvisational singing classes, and I teach a songwriting class. So sometimes reining it in and deciding what to focus on can be a challenge, because there's a lot of things I could do. So, you know, and then building the audience for that.
Yeah.
And getting them to come.
Nice.
I love it. I feel like for you, doing like recording the event and having a decent like camera setup for the comedy, for the music, and then creating, like, did you see when we went to the Opus Pro AI editing?
Yeah.
I feel like there's something there, because a lot of comedians are getting known on TikTok with these little short clips.
Yeah.
and Instagram and whatever. And I feel like there's a whole like audience of people that you probably don't know yet who are in Vancouver who would love to come to your thing, and they just need to know about it. And so having a way to kind of reach them, and I feel like these short videos are sort of the you know, the like the newspapers of our day now. You know, it's like, this is what people watch, is like they'll just scroll through their phone and watch short videos to relax. And so if you can create them and you know, just ask Perplexity or ChatGPT, I want to do exactly what you just said, reach these types of people, blah, 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 blah. You know, what should my hashtags be? What should my copy be? You know, should I tag a location? Like, just give me everything, like walk me through, send it screenshots and be like, is there anything else you would change? You know, you can really get deep with these things. And then start to create, you know, this consistent content stream of your events, and you can just talk about it. You can go live, you can, you know, talk to other people about it. And I feel like just that kind of awareness campaign that would, because your friends will, like, you already know how to reach them. You create a Facebook event, you invite them, you post a few, you know, whatever, you've got that dialed in, you've hosted parties before. So I feel like for you, it's about getting that one layer further of like your friends and people who don't know you or aren't, you know, aren't really as connected to you. And that, yeah, it's like content that would resonate with them, especially because it feels like it might be even a little bit more accessible than like breath work or yoga, which is spiritual based. With like comedy and music, like that's a lot of people who like it. That's a much broader audience.
I do actually. I just bought this amazing new camera, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I'm so excited about it because I want to do more content. So this thing's making it really easy. So I'm excited about that. But you know, sometimes I'll post a reel in Instagram and I'll get like 3 likes, right? So I don't know, maybe I've got to do more of the TikTok thing and the Perplexity thing and just put more time into it.
Well, you look at, I mean, how many people do you have following you on Instagram?
Mostly I'm on Facebook is my main thing.
Yeah. So that
I do some Instagram.
You can do Facebook Reels. What I mean is
Facebook Reels.
What I mean is if you you can. So if you're saying like I only get 1 or 2 likes, but I only have 100 people on there and I only post once a month, it's kind of the same thing. Those people are not going to be shown your content if you're an infrequent flyer. So really kind of don't judge. And yeah, if you only have a few hundred people on there, like we have thousands, and sometimes still a post will only get, 30 or 40 likes or engagement, or 1 or 2. So it's really, that's not a judge of kind of, there's layers to that. So yeah, one is consistency.
Consistency is a big word for me today.
Facebook
up.
stories. And that's where a lot of us, I don't know if you're a perfectionist or what the piece is, but a lot of us, for me, I'm like, I don't want to post until it's pretty, it's done, it's polished, it's ready. And the successful content creators go live every day. And it's like, this is me brushing my teeth and my thought I had in the bathroom about this thing. Like, you know, it's not polished, it's not refined, it's not life-changing. It's basically every time you're engaging, it's a little piece of you. So it's basically like, here's a bit of me. And then the next piece is, here's a bit more of me. And then the next piece is, here's a bit more of me. So even if you go live and you only get 2 or 3 follows, 2 or 3 engagement, 2 or 3 engagement, but as it grows, now that's all saved and stored in there. So now when people go and they find you in 6 months, they can see Camille, and they get a nice sense of you because they do a little deep dive because they got sucked in by one piece of content. So don't kind of judge it right off the bat too. A lot of times there needs to be a little bit of build up with that. I was going to say, I love Facebook stories do really well, just because it pops up right at the top of your news feed and you can see, oh, you know, my friend is making a story. So especially for your community that already know you, doing a Facebook story, and it often in the story, what I'll do is just like, hey everyone, how's it going? I made a nice post down there. Go check out my profile. And in your post, it's like a long form conversation or a pitch to something else, or it's sending people. But the stories are a great way just for people to see your face and be like, oh, what's Camille talking about today, right? So it's a great little just window into getting, especially your current audience, like, oh, what's Camille doing? And especially in a cool location, you know, outside, nature, a nice background, and it, you know, has the little thumbnail there and it looks engaging. Then they click on it, and then the story itself might be just like, hey, love you all, check out my content here. And it's just a little direct, but it's an engagement, and it's a way to get in front of their eyeballs.
How do you just say, go to my page and check it out? Is that an easy thing for them to just do?
So,
I guess.
So on the story, you can just type in a little text, or you can say it if it's a video. If it's like a picture, you can type in text. You know, people put like new post dropped, you know, or check my profile for new, you know, like something exciting. Check out my page.
And I think you can link to it in a button,
and
like that you
nice.
put on the story that people can click with their finger or their mouse.
Yeah, you can link to events as well. You can link to your Facebook events in your stories. You can link, there's a whole,
I tried to do that.
In the little add-on, you can tag people. So, you know, tag anyone you think is going to be interested. Hey, Theta, I was thinking of you. Tag Theta in it, right?
And do like collabs on Instagram. Those are really great for increasing your follower count and reach. Like if you partner with Theta on an event and you do a collab, then all of a sudden all of her followers see you. Yeah. And vice versa.
So you're doubling your reach, which is awesome. What I was also thinking for you, Camille, is because you have kind of like this old, not age-wise, but seasoned audience of yours that are familiar with you for years and years, hosting all these different offerings, but maybe don't know the direction you want to go in right now. Helping you kind of focus your direction, I feel like, is a whole nother event. That would be like the flow state workshop Shine wants to do, where it's helping you kind of really get clear on your why and your next steps. But for now, with your audience, if you want to kind of shift them into, like you said, like how to get them to pay when they're used to coming for free, or how to get them to know that you're multifaceted, not just, I know Camille for singing, I had no idea she was a comedian. I feel like I like what Shine said of kind of, you know, using the reels, using the videos to kind of, you know, bombard people with a little bit of like, this is what I'm up to right now. And I think also deciding what is the like new thing that you want to really promote and sell, whether it's like a women's circle or workshop that is a paid event that you want to do, but maybe you haven't touched your audience for a little while and they're not used to you kind of selling things and offering things. So even offer like something familiar. Let's do a cuddle puddle jam night at my house. Come, it's a free event, it's a free social thing, and at that you're sharing, you're connecting, you're engaging, you're promoting your new thing that you're doing. So it's kind of meeting them where they're used to seeing you, but then adding that new piece. What I do too is then everybody who's like, oh, so sad, it's next week, I'm busy. You're like, no worries. Actually, did you know I'm doing this? So it's like, it's already, you can text all your friends, hey, come to my like solstice fun gathering thing. And they're like, oh, so sorry, I have already plans. You're like, great, I don't have to deal with you in person. But actually the whole point of you coming to the solstice thing was me telling you about this, so it kind of becomes a way where you get to connect with them as a friend like you're used to. But then actually the point is to really share with them, this is the new thing that I'm doing, this is the new direction I'm going in. And whichever way they choose to engage with you, that gives you just the opportunity to like plant the seeds again. Did you know I'm actually into comedy? Did you know I'm actually hosting these wonderful women's circles and I'm just branching out, and I'd love your support and encouragement. So please come down, even whenever we have space, extra space at our events. And like Shine said, there's an influencer, there's somebody we know that's great at sharing, someone who has a similar community to ours. People that go to Theta's sound baths are probably going to be interested in some of the events we do. So us giving her a free ticket to come, especially if it's a new thing we're doing. So it's kind of hard to explain, Theta, we're doing this kind of weird thing. It's a bit of this and it's in the scalar room, technology stuff, but it's like, hey, just come, check it out, experience it. And then from there, now she is like, oh, I'm sold. That was the best thing. They come to the comedy. They're like, oh my God, you're the funniest ever. So that's another way too, where when you're like, I don't know how to charge my audience, you don't have to charge all of them. You can promote a paid event and say, for you, because you're my friend and I love you, come for free. And bring a friend, and and then if they bring a friend, so a lot of people do that, you bring a friend for free. So you can do that where either your friend pays and they get to bring a friend for free, or you come for free, but see if you can bring a friend who's willing to pay. And then you're expanding your audience. They are expanding your audience for you because they're bringing that friend to your event. So those are good ways too, where you can kind of like take what you already have and then enhance that and really get your community excited too to support you. I'd love to come to a free comedy show, Camille. That would be amazing. And then you're like, here, you come for free, check it out. And you can also do affiliates. So we do a lot of affiliate marketing as well, where we say Theta is one of our amazing affiliates because she's got such a great network. We're like, here's your affiliate link. So we do that through Eventbrite. We're going to get those on Unite, but we don't have that yet. So you just create a special code and we give that to Theta, and we haven't agreed upon 20% or whatever the affiliate amount is we want to offer her. And so every ticket, right? So if she sells $100 ticket to my event, she's making $20. She brings 5 friends. It's either paid for her ticket if we're not giving her a free ticket, or it's made her $100, right? So affiliate marketing is an amazing way to get your community involved. You're paying them back, right? You're actually giving them money we're giving Theta money for her audience who she's nurtured and she's up-leveled and supported. So affiliate marketing is just a super fun way to engage, connect, encourage. You can do all kinds of fun when you get bigger events, affiliate, community where you get all the affiliates together and you have a fun, like gentle rivalry. Let's see, who's my top affiliate, who's made the most sales, that kind of thing. So that's a really fun way to leverage your community, leverage your audience, and then everybody coming from Theta's network, this network, when they buy tickets through Unite or through Eventbrite, we get their email address. Now they're part of our community. And if they say they're interested on the Facebook page, I've gone and friended them. Now they're part of my community. So that's, again, like I said, we collect people too. So we're actually that's a really fast, easy way to build your network. Anybody who comes to Theta's event is probably going to be a cool person. So I don't need to screen them. I don't need to check them. Just like friend them, connect with them, good to go. So, yeah.
Hey, Harry, actually, this brings up a question. We were at this party last weekend and Andrew and I ended up like entertaining and people were so into it. They were like, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then when I went home later and I went, fuck, there were like 3 women there who would have been perfect for my musical women's circle, I just gave them my card, right? And I was like, oh, I should have done, what should I have done? Like gotten them on my mailing list, like take their email down.
Start a chat and follow up with them.
Yeah.
Like a Facebook chat or a text.
Join,
then,
add them on Facebook and then start a chat.
Yeah.
My very favorite thing, I hate business cards. You know, you have a pile of business cards. What do? So I literally either grab my phone or grab their phone, say, search for yourself on Facebook, right? They search for themselves. I say, friend yourself. They're on my phone, right? They friend themselves, you know, I friend them. And then I send them a message right there. I open send message and I send them, because it's normally at an event and it's busy. I just hit my voice to text feature on my phone. And I say, so lovely to meet you at the event tonight. I'm so excited to share with you and connect. And I put some relevant details so I remember who they are. You know, it was so fun talking about women's circles with you. I'm going to send you the link to my circle when I get home. Right. And now I've just made that connection. Wow. I know who it is.
Yeah.
And now then I say, make sure you go accept my friend request. And, you know, if they have their phone right there, they'll do it right there. And then they'll send me a response. And you can do the same with text message, right? So if they want to keep it off social, offline, just, hey, can I send you a text? You send them a text right there in the moment. Can I send you my thing to my women's circle? Mm-hmm. So that's another thing that we highly recommend is, as you're growing and nurturing your community, make sure there's always something you can plug them into. So don't, I don't have another event for 2 months. You know, so it's like, okay, I always make sure, even if we're not sure, we create an event for 2 months from now. You can change the date, no problem. Don't worry about it, right? Just create it. So it's a landing page, it's a holding spot, it's something you can share with people. And then you can always change it if plans change, whatever. But there's always something you can connect them with. And then you can share, whatever you're wanting to build up, connect them to your Instagram, connect them to your YouTube. And if you have something, we send a lot of people, make sure you join our Unite Vancouver community group, right? Because that's a huge value add for them. You can share your stuff there. You can find community there. When we talk to people and they're like, oh, I'm looking for a new place. We're like, great, join Unite Vancouver, ask for it there. Oh, I'm looking for a pet sitter. Great, join Unite Vancouver, ask for it. So try and think of what you can have where you're adding value, but they're staying engaged with you. So yeah, you can have a mailing list. I would make sure if that's what you're onboarding people to, make sure you're sharing content with them regularly. That's not just buy. So make sure at one point you're sharing your Spotify with your free singing, so free music, a little free webinar, a free video, whatever it is that you have, and populate that. Put some stuff on YouTube where it's just, you could do a 10-minute video on like how to get over stage fright as a comedian and put that on YouTube. And then never touch it again. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to market it. But basically, then when you're having a conversation with someone at a party and they're like, oh, I really wanted to start being a comedian, but I'm really scared. You're like, great, I know how to connect with you. And you could do one for singing. You could do one for women's circles, right? So then you've pinned some content around, and then when you connect with people, you can be like, this is how I can keep you in my sphere. This is how I can be of service to you. Free offering, free, or check out my friend. They have a awesome thing. You're interested in a sound bath? I know this amazing artist, Theta. Go check out her stuff, and I'll tag her. I'll send her a thing. I'll make a group chat. So we're always thinking, how can we engage and how can we connect, and how can everyone that I'm interested in, I have a catch point where I can hold them, connect with them, keep building that relationship, keep nurturing that, because you never know. It might be not them, but their friend, but their friend, but their friend that actually ends up buying something from you. But you're getting so much engagement, connection. You can get feedback. Feedback is an amazing way to stay connected with your audience as well. So for all of you, if you're thinking about starting a new thing or offering a new thing, ask for feedback. Say, hey, here's a little poll. Would you mind doing this for me? Would you mind filling a little poll? Would you mind filling in a little questionnaire? Help me pick the name. I don't know what to call my group, right? Do you like this one? People love that stuff. People love it. Every time someone posts a name or a graphic, like which image should I use? And there's 3 choices. I'm all over that. I love giving my opinion. Oh yes, I think this is the best one, right? People love that stuff. So even for you, Camille, literally be like, which focus should I have? What do you think I'm the best at? Poll your community, make a little, you can do a little Google poll, a little Google document. You can even do it straight on Facebook. You can create a poll straight through Facebook. And just like, that's a fun way where you're getting like, I value your opinion. Which of these pictures do I look hottest in for my, banner for my group? Like what vibe, even like, you're like, you pick this picture and you're like, what vibe does this, like with no words, what vibe do you get from this picture? Do I come across more of a comedian or more of a singer in this picture? And so that way they feel engaged, they feel connected, and they're like, what's she doing with that picture? Like they're all like, where's she going with this? Now I'm curious. So you're basically inviting them into your world to come play with you. There you go.
Cool. Well, that's quite a download. Thank you.
I know you need to breathe.
I don't know if you were at the beginning when we were talking about our success with past events, where the events that really sell well are either some sort of celebrity, Parangi.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
So it sounds like, for Simon, like he's doing Kangen water stuff, and for Jennifer, it's much more of like a problem, like a specific thing. Like it's for breathwork, for trauma, it's for clean water. It's a very specific thing. For you, it's not really the venue. If it's at your house, it's cool, but no one's gonna like go out of their way to come to that venue. It's cool, but it's not the biggest draw. And it's not about solving a problem really of like, oh, like boost your happiness or whatever. It'll do that, but that's not why they're coming. I feel like why they're coming is for you. And so you have to sort of, not have to, but you can build up your celebrity is the wrong word, but your like personal brand, because that's what people are coming for. They're coming for the experience that you create, and to get people to like come who aren't just, your friends, but even to get your friends to come, I feel like you have to become the brand. You're the draw. You have to figure or think about what else could be the draw. Maybe do it.
I guess that's partly why I wanted to make it a women's circle, right? Because people were singing together. Like, so, and I have this thing where sometimes people will share something and then I'll make up a song about it spontaneously, right?
Yeah.
And then it ends up usually being funny. Or I have them singing along the songs, or this last one, I would sing a song and then I'd say, okay, pair up with a partner and talk about this thing that the song was about, like stepping up in your life. How are you stepping up? I did this song, like it's time to step up. And then I'd be like, talk to the person next to you. So it could be, that's why I was kind of trying to frame, because I feel like if I just do my songs and my stories, people might be like, well, we've seen that show. I mean, how often could you see it? Like once a year. But how do I make it something where people want to come every month? Like where they're coming for that tribe. They're coming just like people go to Kirtan because it's their Kirtan tribe, right? They go to Theta because they know they're always going to get their healing. So I'm like, well, what's my thing where I can create something that's repeatable, where they know they'll see their peeps and they know they'll have some laughs and they'll have that KK experience, where they get some silly song or something, right? So I've been trying to come, so that's why I wanted to call it Musical Women's Circle, because it seems like mostly women wanted to come anyway. And then I thought, if I packaged it as a women's circle, it's sort of more of it meets a need. The women are like, oh, great, I'm going to connect with other women. I love connecting with other women.
Yeah.
It feels safe and it feels like my support group or whatever. Yeah.
And then you could even start, I don't even think there's a Women's Circles Vancouver Facebook group yet. If there is, I haven't seen it. Yeah. And so you could start one. And then you could be the host for the Facebook group for all the women's circles.
And then that person who came to you and like, oh, I hosted, you'd be like, haha, I'm the now overarching.
No.
You can share.
You'll get really pissed off at me if I do that. I might have to call it something else.
That's
no,
fine.
But yeah.
Don't worry about that stuff.
Don't worry about people who are
do you, man.
Realize
what does she say? Do you? You're not a spiritual woman circle. You're funny. Like, just be funny.
Feminine circle, goddess circle,
women's group,
women's circle.
But
the thing is that men could come, but somehow the women thing feels like more of a tribe. I'm trying to create a tribe so that there's a repeatable group that will come, and there seems to be maybe a liberation when it's only women. We ended up doing this song for Donna all about her vagina kung fu, and everybody's cracking up, and I don't know if it would be the same if there were guys there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think what I mean is sort of pick your thing, because either if you want it to sort of be like an ongoing, easy to sell thing, then it either should meet a specific need, like a women's circle does, tribe, connection, community, or you're the celebrity, you're the brand, and then you build that up, or it's a really cool venue and experience overall. And it could be all of them. The best is probably when it's all of them. And so you sort of like find the thing, and there's probably others that I'm missing, but find the thing that you, if you didn't know someone, like if you didn't know you and you saw this, you would go. And you would just be like, I'm in. And so like sort of try and package it in a way where you would be like, oh, I want to, what is that? I want to learn more. I want to go. Whereas if it's just, oh yeah, like, songs at Camille's place in Potluck, it's like, cool. Like, I don't know Camille, whatever. Like I'm not even into, like, okay, cool, I'm out. But if it's like, women's song circle, oh, I'm a woman. I'm in. That's immediate. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Nice one. You guys are so clear. This is awesome. Huh?
Great.
I had another quick thought. Amazing way to do viral content would be to, like you said, just as I popped out to get more water, you were saying you sometimes make spontaneous songs. I would use exactly what I was saying, poll your audience and be like, give me a couple of wacky words. And for the lucky winner, I'm going to make a special song with your words, and, tune back next Wednesday, because I'm going to go live with what I created with your, like if you've got a friend with a birthday or an anniversary, tell me here why they deserve for me to write a song about them, and tell me something super quirky about them, and I may just make a quick spontaneous song for them. So that's a great way too, where you're like engaging with your audience, you're connecting with them. They don't need to know, if no one shares anything interesting, you can make it up. They don't need to know that. But basically that's like, I would then be like, I want to see what she comes up with. And then you literally do the live where you're like, okay, hey, everybody, last week I did a thing. I got everyone to share their words or share their friends who they nominated people for me to write a song about them. And as soon as I saw Susan's post about making a song for her dad who used to love fishing but had this crazy experience, I just had to write a song about it. Here it is. And now you've just made a ridiculously funny piece of viral content. And then make sure you talk in that at the beginning or the end or somewhere about whatever it is that you're wanting to share more of. And if you think this is awesome, don't forget, I do women's circles. Don't forget, I'm at stand up tomorrow night at the thing. So just use it as like, that's the Trojan horse, that's the hook. So like, look how hilarious and awesome she is. Oh, what else is she doing?
That's good. Yeah, it's funny. I had thought about doing like a Facebook Live somehow. Like if I could just go live and just say, listen, I'm making up songs. Does anybody want to come in here? And they just type in what they want a song about. And I'm just sitting there doing a chord progression. And I'm all, we're taking a class with Shine Kristall. You know what I mean? And
exactly, totally. And once people start knowing that that's what you're doing, and once you do that, make sure you're recording it, make sure then you're sharing it in other places. And then people are like, oh, that was really funny. I want to be on the next time. And now I've got in my little side radar looking out every time Camille goes live. Is she going to do another one? Is she going to do another one?
Oh, that's cool. Can you record? Oh, no. Yeah. Obviously your live stays on there. You don't have to record it because it just stays on there. Yeah. And then you can download them, I think, too. Yeah.
And sometimes on Facebook it doesn't. Yeah, you have to specify, and then Instagram it does. Yeah, we have a bunch more people. I'm realizing.
I just wanted to say one more thing. That little thing you did, the Opus thing. Did you do a thing on YouTube and the horizontal, and then Opus brought it into the vertical?
Yeah.
For the
exactly.
That's cool.
Yes. So what Shine was saying is we want to make sure that there's more people. We're fine to go overtime, but if anyone needs to jump off, we want to make sure we get your questions answered first. So if you have burning questions, but you can wait a minute, let's make sure we get, because I realize it is a weeknight for people that have tomorrow mornings to.
I'll just answer these quick. Jennifer Schmidt asked to use your personal or business account when sending friend requests. Facebook, always personal, because you can't, it's business is silly. Instagram, it just depends which one you want. You can get people to follow you and message them from either. And then
there's a lot of groups that won't allow you to join as a business, so then you need to join as your personal as well. So we always I do my relationship building through my personal account, but then if it's more the marketing, and then we always use both to share as well.
Do you have a list of Facebook groups promoting? Yes, we can send it to everyone afterwards.
And please populate that. We have a document that has Facebook groups. Please add yours as well. So if you're part of one that you don't see on that list, please add that and we'll create this collective living document.
Can you change a private group to public? I don't think so, but you can ask the AIs if that's possible.
You used to be able to go public to private, but private to public, because they feel like you joined with the sense that it was private, they would have to kick everyone out to have you come back to do public.
And you can change the name of your group once a month. Also, how do you send an email to followers on Eventbrite? You just, in Eventbrite, under marketing, emails, you upload your list, you send it. You have to pay if it's more than 250 per day.
Is it just specific to to that one event though, or can you do general marketing?
You can do general. It is very specific to Eventbrite.
Yeah.
And you can't really put too many other links in there. If you have any link in there that's not an Eventbrite link, it'll take 2 days for them to go through your email before they send it, which is annoying. So I only use it for Eventbrite stuff, and you can only add one photo to the very top, and then it shows your Eventbrite links at the bottom. So you can't, it's not like MailChimp where you can design it beautifully.
Oh, that's cool though.
It's very basic, but the open rates are more.
I just need to quickly clarify one thing about the Facebook. I guess I was wondering, when you post on a lot of groups, so if I'm promoting my own events, how do you, is there a space that you can auto save? Because I find it, you muddle through, I'm like, I don't know which groups to post on. Do you have a group, say, or a bunch?
I've got them all in bookmarks on my computer.
Yeah.
And then I'll literally just go and open up, 10 or 12 of them at once, and then post, and then
you can, in your bookmarks in Google, you can make folders. So I have a folder for Vancouver wellness groups. I have a folder for Kelowna wellness groups. So if I'm doing an online event, I can share in all of them. If I'm sharing a Vancouver event, I just open my Vancouver groups.
So that you have them bookmarked in your browser, which literally opens up to that specific Facebook page.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah. And you can, there's a feature on your in your bookmarks, you can, I'm not sure if it's right click or something, and on your folder, and it says open all 30 tabs in this folder or whatever. So you can open them all at once. And it will ask you, are you sure you want to open all 30? Because I'm going to crash your computer.
And then
so once you put too many in there, then you have to do one.
And then you just have it like your post, you just paste it in each one.
Exactly. So I normally, what I like to do is I use my notes feature on my Apple computer, and I have, because the notes you can pull up from anywhere. So in my notes, I put my copy, what I'm going to share. I make sure I always at my event. So when you're sharing it, I'll say, come join us. And then you put the @ symbol, and then you start typing the event name, and then the event name will come in as a hyperlink. But I don't normally, you don't want to copy and paste that hyperlink, because then, Facebook does that weird spammy thing where it makes the link like 18 miles long and it fucks the whole thing up. So what you want to do is I normally, in my copy, I write all my posts, and then I put @ and I start type. So for Theta's event, I wrote @ Theta Phoenix, whatever the name was, winter, and I wrote winter. And then when I paste it into the page, I just click at the end of winter and I hit space and then back, and then it says a suggestion of the event name, and I can click on it and it auto populates it. So that's just one thing you want to make sure when you're copying and pasting links on Facebook, make sure you're getting them from like a true source, not copied and pasted off an already posted thing, because then it messes it up. So a true source, I think of like in my brain, like you either have taken it from the search bar at the top of the event page, or I take it from somewhere weird. I put it in the notes document, and then it kind of erases that extra add-on weird bit, and then it works. I don't know its brain algorithm, but that's how I do it. And then I literally have like 10, 12 groups open, and I just click on it, paste my copy in, tag Theta, tag Mahi Wellness, tag Unite, make sure that you add my hyperlink, send next group, tag Theta, tag Unite.
And it's probably better to do that not all at once.
Yes.
Because then people are online at different times.
Yeah.
But we usually do it all at once because it's just easier.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things too. One of the reasons why we're building Unite is we found it's ridiculous that there's like, in Vancouver, I share to like 30 wellness groups, and there's most of the, like half of the same people in all those groups. What we want the Unite platform to be like is when someone shares something, I can filter, I want to see all the wellness events in Vancouver, or I want to see all the wellness events in Vancouver under $100. I want to see all the wellness events in Vancouver that are sound baths. And basically then everyone is in like one group, and then we can filter according to what we want to see, instead of what Facebook does where there's 1,000,001 groups. But until we've got Unite further along, that's basically what we do. So yeah, like Shine said, if you feel like there's a lot of similar people and you've got time, wait an hour and post, leave them open and post one here and one here and one here. And if not, remember, it's better to get it out there than not at all.
Yeah, so who has to go right at 9:30 or sooner and hasn't gone yet? And we'll go there.
Get some questions. You don't all have to have a one-on-one questions answered if you feel like you've got all your questions answered, but we want to make sure that we get, one-on-one with everyone to answer the questions. Yeah. Heather.
Hi there. Yeah, I didn't turn my camera on because I was just going from one meeting to another, and the lighting's so terrible. I can, and I'm on my phone. I can flash you for a minute. Hello.
Hi, Heather.
It's just not lined up properly, so I'll go back to my smiling face. Yeah, and my apologies for being late. I had a scheduling problem. And so I might have missed something about, to set up what we're actually supposed to be asking or focusing on when we come on. But so, I kind of followed and listened and have an idea, and I jotted down some questions I have. Before I came on here, when I signed up for the event, I was thinking, because I've been a part of Unite for a while, but I know you've done a lot of new things, opportunities with the platform and so on. And so I kind of have procrastinated on getting, some videos up there and different things that have been available for quite some time. And I thought a review of that might be an incentive or help me focus me in getting to that. But I may or may not have missed some of that. But the other thing is just for me to get to know what the offerings are at Unite End, but also vice versa, so that when you're promoting me, a little more about what direction I'm going in and what my offerings are, and also the people that are participating here. Some of whom I know already, and some who are new. I'd just love to do that song thing that just came up with Camille.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm just a bit of introduction. I'm transitioning from focusing on mobile massage, and my goal in the next 5 years is to kind of do my last hurrah with that in terms of promotion and maximizing what myself and the team Nature's Way Holistic Health can handle, because we can only do one massage each at a time. But for the rest of my career, which won't be too long after that, I'm 65 now, but I feel like I'm 20, is to focus on something less physical that I've been working up to, which involves more online and some in person. I've got my niche. I'm a love coach for over 40 women who are ready to have an epic love relationship and kind of go there again, but in a different way than they ever have before. So when we were talking about Facebook groups earlier, and I actually have one that's a private group for the niche that I mentioned, and it's for singles, but my vision is that I'll get a lot of singles couples, and then I'll be doing more work with couples. But my issue, and there's some question, I guess, on that one, is with the Facebook group, which it's been stagnant for a while as I was focusing on other things. But as I come to resurrect it, I've learned that, as everyone was talking about today, consistency is really important. When it was going, or when it was more active, it's still up there, but I'm not posting. But when I was posting, I've put quite a lot of variety and questions for engagement, like you were talking about, Kristall, but I really wasn't getting that engagement. And I think that it's, you were alluding to that as well, Kristall, that if you don't have the consistency and you don't have the numbers, then and people it isn't even landing when you post, even if they're part of a private group. And I guess I was kind of disillusioned by that. But I think my understanding is now that if I'm doing a lot of different things, like doing posts on my related business Facebook group, and sharing that to the private group, and doing webinars and lives and that kind of thing, that it's all going to make things improve with the algorithm, so that when I do make posts, they'll land in and be seen by the members. So that's I guess there's a question in there about if there's anything I'm missing, or any ways that I don't already know about that I can enhance the engagement.
Yeah, I have
I'm
a
just
question.
kind of inviting people to it as I see people individually that might be interested. And I was seeing some opportunities as I was listening today, like sharing the events on the Unite Love platform. And I think there's opportunities to do a little video there to talk about it, just a promo video, and having the link there to join in. I like the idea of doing things free before people are going to buy. That's kind of a marketing principle that, I think some people say it's like they have to have 30 touch points with you before they'll actually buy from you.
Totally.
Something like that. So
I have a question, Heather.
on that.
What
I'm just going to look up where it says questions here. I took a lot of notes. Oh yeah. Well, okay. So one of the questions was, we're talking about if you have different streams, kind of, that should you be putting them both out there? And I guess that would be on Unite as well.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, as I'm transitioning from being the massage person that you all know me as, and EFT is another thing that I specialize in, but it kind of overlaps. I do it with my massage clients, or
Heather,
I do it with my love
Heather, can you hear me?
clients.
Heather, can you hear me?
But let's just
say there's two areas
Heather?
of love coach and the massage and
Can everyone
shiatsu
else hear
person.
Heather, can you hear?
I guess
Heather?
the question is, would it do me a disservice if I was promoting both, or should I be promoting both up there? At least for the 5 years that I want to continue promoting the mobile massage somewhere. And, you know, I see it as an opportunity to get people more in North Shore. And
No, hold on. Unmute. Heather, no. Sorry.
He thought if he muted her, then he could unmute her.
Yeah. How do I unmute you? Sorry, Heather. That's so weird.
Heather, are you there?
When you mute
Can you hear us?
So we can mute her, but we can't unmute her?
Oh,
That's
sorry,
ridiculous.
This is silly.
oh my God, can you believe I've been talking all that time?
Can you
We
hear
can
us?
hear you. We can hear you. But
Wait a
can you hear us?
Okay, hold on.
Can you hear
I
us?
gotta put my ear things in.
That's hilarious.
No.
The
she
reason
can't
is,
hear.
I made a
Go
big
for it.
mistake. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I hope you went on to somebody else for a while there.
No, we
No,
can hear you.
We could hear you,
Oh,
but
you
can't
hear
us.
me, but okay, I didn't have my buds in. So what are you
Oh.
trying to say?
So we heard
My
you all.
apologies. I just recently put some buds in because I walked over to the bathroom and I forgot that I took them out to talk to you, and that means you can't hear me.
No worries. I've got some clarifying.
I mean, I can't hear you. Sorry.
I've got some clarifying questions for you.
Sure.
So with a private group, that's something we haven't talked about yet. When you create a private group on Facebook, like we were saying, you can't go from private to public ever. So if you create a private group, you have to be committed to keeping it private forever. So it means if you ever want to grow and expand, you can never use it for anything except being a private group. And if you create a Facebook event in that private group, it's great because the group will see it, but you cannot share that event to anyone publicly. They won't be able to see the link if they're not in that group. So it's a really niche thing. It's really when you want it to be private. It's great for memberships. It's great for, so everyone on this call is going to be added into a private group where we're going to support, you guys can support each other on all these subjects. We can, if you have questions come up, you can ask them in the chat. We can share resources. That's where we're going to share all the videos with you. That's where from the recording from today, we'll share the list of the groups, etc., in this private group. So that's what the point of the private group is really to like something like a membership group. So my question for you, Heather, is what is the point of your group? If it's just to share your events and your offerings, I would never join that group because I'm not your target demographic. I'm not looking for a relationship. So it really limits who would come in to be part of that group. If your point is to have a place where you get to showcase what you're doing, we were saying earlier on in the call, I really recommend start a group like we were saying for Jennifer, where it's really specific to what you're doing and including other people. So if it's like you could start a Facebook group that's public, that's for women from 40 to 60 looking for relationships, right? Now that's target demographic, they're in one spot. If you're only hosting in-person events, then I would make it location specific for the Lower Mainland for Vancouver. If you're going to do online stuff, then it could be, of course, you don't need to have it location specific in the title. And then in that group, I would encourage other people. So if other people have offerings for your community, for that target demographic, let them share in that as well. And then this group is now valuable for other people. Other people will be engaging, other people will be connecting, and you can share your offerings. So I would say there's only a really specific time when I would have a private group, and I'm not sure if that's what your intention is and why you want it private. So you can answer that and let me know.
Yeah, well, one of the things that was just the way I was trained in one program. I had a paid program I was in for training for doing this kind of thing, and it was I hosted the webinar in Zoom, and then I had it connected, and I also made like an Eventbrite page and promoted the event more publicly when I was doing a webinar. So it was kind of, I guess the reason why it should be private was partly just this idea of, I think somebody said like a tribe of women where, you know, they can just, sensitive topic, and they can just feel safer there. This, what I was getting at too, was when I looked and saw you all waving at me, was the the idea of inviting men. I mean, I'm always trying or having to say reject them or whatever when they try to become a member, because they're male, and they're, even though it says that in the opening, I think there's men that are kind of trolling. So it just takes.
So I can speak to that, Heather. So what you can do is I would create a public group, but have membership questions. So you can have, when they join the group, they have to answer a couple of questions, and you have to admit them. So you have to let each person in, and basically I would have one question say, this is a women's group. Do you identify as female? They have to say yes. I would say, this is a women's group targeted for women 40 to 60. Is that you? And they have to say yes, right?
Actually, I think that's what I have then.
Yeah.
Because I do have that, and I have to approve them. So I guess.
Okay, so you can do that, but you have to approve people for a private group as well. So you have to just look at your group settings, and that would be on your Facebook group, that would be under settings, and just check. I think it says that it's under something like not accessibility.
Ask perplexity.
You can ask the AI, but it's pretty simple. It's just one of the features, and it says this group is you know, anyone can see it. It's public, or it's a private group. If it's a public group, that's great. You've got the membership questions. If it's a private group, then it's obviously a little more restrictive to what you can do with it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So back to the idea of inviting men. I think then I'd have to start offering speed dating events, and it would change it completely. But I guess the only reason I was really looking at that is, you know, how to just get more people interested, and maybe, but back to the consistency and so on. I think if I'm just putting more out there, more, that there will be.
I definitely think more content and more information. You don't need a group to do that. And a group, if you've got a group and there's only 30 people in there, you can share in that group, but also share in a whole bunch of other groups as well. So don't see it as your only touch point. And I think that's another thing we want to kind of come back to and remind you, if you're already making the post, just put it everywhere. Right?
And that was a good reminder of the importance of that, because I think in past I've sort of done that, but I haven't allowed enough time to do it well. And you have a kind of a system that you were talking about for doing that makes it a little easier to do. So a lot of good tidbits that I got from. I know you're you guys are real king and queen of some of these online tech things. So speaking of that, I'm just wondering, like, Facebook and Instagram, there's ways that you can integrate those to post at the same time. Like, does that work for you, and do you recommend that?
I think sometimes when you post on Instagram, you can auto connect your Facebook and things, and it's in the settings thing. You can just ask Perplexity or ChatGPT, like, how do I do that, and it'll guide you.
And that's why we wanted to create this Facebook group for you guys as well. So for more these kind of really detailed questions, that's where we can also be answering them for you. it just, you're like, oh, I'm stuck on this element, and we can kind of help you through the week, through the following weeks as you're doing that. So that's why we want to do the Facebook group, and Shine can share, links to Perplexity, the AI tool that he uses, and all that stuff. So we're going to put all that in one place. And then from there, once you kind of like, okay, I like this bit, but what was that bit again? And then we can help you kind of, refine and fine tune those elements.
Yeah, and okay, that sounds great. And then the final thing is just about the platform, and I saw your little video about what's new, and that was exciting. But also some of the stuff you were doing before that kind of, it might be working now, like people putting videos on there. Are there people watching? and then what do you want to work? Like, how can I help to support by adding more where you're trying to get more engagement too? And also from my kind of a selfish question there, opportunity for research. So with the love coach thing, I want to find out more about my tribe. So I'm still doing research, one-on-one short interviews. I think I've asked for that before, like in ask and offers platforms, but I say, is there anyone, I could say it here, is there anyone in this group who has somebody that comes to mind that's in that they're single now and they're over 40, they could be up to 70, and they in their wildest dreams would be thinking of having a man in their life again, and if they might be willing to talk about their thoughts about relationship for a few minutes. And there'd be a little perk in there, like you get a discount on a tapping session online or something like that. So but within the platform, like, is there any, or will there be any opportunities for actual, like maybe even putting research questions on there, like that people can answer or something like that?
Yeah.
More on Facebook groups for now. There's not as much engagement on the Unite platform, on the feed. What it's best for right now is for the events and the speed healing online. Yeah. So you can add a speed healing, you can add your speed healing listing, and then we'll help you promote it. And then people can do online speed healing with you. And then you can also add your event and use it for ticketing. So that's mainly, and then Facebook groups, you can make like, what are they called?
Polls
and things.
Yeah. And thank you for your question, Heather. We'll get, after we've answered everyone's questions, we'll do a little last offer or share what about Unite and about future stuff we have going on. So I appreciate you bringing that up.
Okay, that's great. Oh, just a quickie, is the speed healing, are people going there?
Yeah, we'll answer that in a minute. I just want to make sure we get to everyone. But yes,
I'm just curious about that because it's kind of new thing. Yeah,
totally. Yeah, it is. It's new and exciting, and I do want to share about it. In regards to you finding referrals and finding people, I think, like you said, and like we talked about earlier, finding ways to do engagement where you're getting people excited. So I would share with people, hey, if you recommend one of your, women in my age bracket, if you tag them in this post on Facebook, tag your people in this post, and if you tag people, I'll enter you into a draw to win a free massage or whatever. So perks and giveaways.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and
stuff like that.
We can post more ideas about that on the group, and that's why we want to do a private Facebook group for you guys, so you can also, because you haven't had a lot of time here to share and engage with each other, because you might have been like, oh, I have an idea for that person. So that's what the group is going to be for, where you guys can do, this is kind of like the fire hose brain dump right now, and in the group you can kind of like, I want to do a draw, but I don't know what, and people can share their ideas and their experience, and that's where we can get into these like more specific conversations. But I think we want to get our questions answered here.
Doug and
Tina, let us know how we can support.
Yeah, can you guys maybe just talk a little bit about the ticketing and payment integration that we can do?
Yeah.
And we've talked a lot about the ads and where to put them. Can you just talk about that side of it? How to coordinate that?
Yeah,
Because
did you?
right now we're just simply giving our email address and saying e-transfer.
Nice. Did you miss? I think you were off for a little bit, and Jennifer asked this question.
Okay, sorry, Jen. Sorry,
No,
guys.
no worries. So
I could pick it up on the replay.
yeah,
That's fine.
we can send you that. Basically, we use between Eventbrite and Unite, and we've broken down the kind of details in that. So that will be a great place in the group. If you can't kind of get that question answered, then we can go over that more thoroughly with you.
And we've got videos for each Unite feature of how to use it, and like deep walkthroughs. So we'll share those there.
Yeah, and that will really help.
Any other creative questions or things that we can help with right now?
No, it's a lot of great information here. It's a lot to take in, so I'll probably be watching the replay 2 or 3 times. So yeah, thank you guys.
And like Shine said, we are going to break up the replay, so hopefully that like one section will be in one video, so you don't have to watch the whole 3 hours through, and there will be like one section that will be like the payments, and then you can watch that. Yeah, one clip.
Yay!
Thank you.
Come visit your horses. Kimberly, do you want to go?
Sure. Awesome. This has been so great. And I love that you guys have really brought in such a playful way to do all of this, and none of it feels icky. So that I really appreciate it so much. Yeah. Thank you. The question that I had was just more so around when you do go to market yourself for these different events, is there sort of a sweet spot for how soon you should be marketing for, or if it should be you have 2 months until your event comes up? Does that depend sort of on many variables as how big your target audience is, how big the size of the event is?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, it is a big variable, and it's also how much time you have to put into it. So what we find is if we're marketing something for 2 or 3 months away, it's a really gentle drip campaign where you're just like, save the date, guess what's coming, isn't this fun? And it's just like a little touch, a little touch, a little touch, but you're probably not, especially in Vancouver, if it's an in-person event, you're not selling in many tickets unless it's a very limited capacity. You know, all the events always sell out, get your ticket now kind of thing. But a lot of times it's a great placeholder. So I would say get it up as soon as possible. Don't feel like you have to wait to launch the event, unless you want to do like a launch thing and do a whole campaign where you're gearing people up. The event is, I'm launching it in a week, I'm launching it in 3 days, and you know, but basically I would say get it up whenever it's ready to get up. And even we've launched an event where we're planning on partnering someone, but it's not finalized yet. So we launch the event and then we add them in. You can adjust it. You can change the name. That's one of the things with Facebook. And again, another Russian roulette is if you change too many things, then it will lock the event and you can't change the banner anymore and you can't change the title anymore. So don't do like change it, save, edit, save, edit, save, edit. Like I don't know how many times, and we've had it happen a few times, and now we're very cautious. So I used to, with all our speed healers and vendors, I would add them in as they joined. And so I would be, you know, every few days I'd be editing the write-up, editing the write-up, editing the write-up, and then it locks it. And fortunately, a lot of times when it locks the write-up, you can still edit on your phone. But yeah, it's one of those things. So don't change, but you can do, you know, definitely a few tweaks as you go. What I would suggest is for an event, I think it depends on how many people you're trying to get, how many eyes you're trying to see. If it's a small event, obviously, and you already have a big audience, you don't need as much time. What I find, like Heather was saying, is I don't find people need like 30 times of my, you know, seeing the thing, but definitely you want to have the time to send them a few messages. So what I find is when we launch the event and we just share, the first things are excitement about the event itself. So content about the offering, about the experience, about the whole thing. And then I go in more specifically and I'm reaching out to all the people interested in going. And the first message I'm sending them will be, I see you're interested in it. Let me know if you have any questions. And then the next event might be, if I'm doing an early bird, then we'll do another big promo push right before the early bird ends. So that's a nice excuse to message people. Sometimes we'll do a double early bird where you have super early bird and then next early bird. And we find a good spacing for that is 2 weeks before the event is when kind of the early bird ends. If I'm going to do a double early bird, it might be 4 weeks before. Especially in people's minds, if the event is in December and we're in October, that's like a really long way away. If the event is the end of December and we're in the beginning of December, I'm already thinking about what's happening in December. So if you're so I kind of think about it that way. Like I don't do a big push until we're in the month of the event, is really kind of, unless it's like at the beginning of that event, but like thinking in my brain, like, oh, I'm not even like what, 3 months away. I'm not scheduling stuff that's not in my brain. So those kind of things help us dictate, you know, how much promotion we're going to do. And then you can definitely amp up a week before the event. You can touch your people like 2 or 3 times that week. And even if you're sharing really useful content, you can connect with them every day. But make sure the post isn't buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing. It's like, this is really cool. The next one might be, I still have some spots. Do you have any friends that you'd love to share this with? I'd really appreciate your support. The next one, you know, early birds are ending, right? Make sure you get your thing. If you want to be an affiliate for my event, that's another touch point, right? I see you're interested in it. And if you want to earn some money and share to my community, affiliate. So depending how much like scope you want, you can connect with them quite a bit. So that's kind of, if you're just sharing buy my event, buy my event, buy my event, I wouldn't, you know, do that promo more than maybe once a week. And so if you want to touch your community 3 or 4 times and you're only going to share that, at least have like a month runtime. And if you're going to, you know, share a ton of content and it's really valuable, you could do a week runtime. So that's kind of, yeah, mostly we find just for ourselves and our schedule, we love about 6 weeks. And that's kind of like the first week is like just getting it going, thinking about it, getting it launched, getting it out there. We find, especially for ourselves too, if it's like 2 or 3 months away, we're thinking about current stuff. We're not thinking about that. So we don't have the excitement and the momentum for it. So, but yeah, I think that would just kind of depend too on your ability to how much time you have to share. But that's kind of what works for us. You know, Ed? Nope. Does that answer your question?
That was perfect. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
And that's a big benefit for us for having vendors, sponsors, and healers at our events.
Yeah.
Is each one of them gets their own meme created by the gorgeous Kristall, and we do a collab post on Instagram, share it on the Facebook event, share it in the email, share it in the write up, and so it's always new. There's always new content to share.
Yeah.
Of like, this vendor is going to be there, this healer is going to be there, here's the venue, here's the and then of all the other stuff of what Kristall was talking about. So the more fun things you can add in that make sense for the event, then that's just content, right? And then you can you can go live with your healers or your whoever, you know, before the event, and that can be content, and you can walk people through the thing, so that you can just kind of make up fun ways to engage.
Yeah, you can even do things like, especially if it's a workshop or something, you could do like a pre-event meet and greet where everyone just gets to like come on a call and socialize if they want, or like, you know, so there's tons of creative ways. And these are in the Facebook group that we're going to put you guys all in. This is the kind of thing that we can have in conversations where we can just have fun, like jams on like, what are some other cool engagement ideas and cool ways to connect? Because really what you're doing to make your sale, whether it's selling a product or selling an event, what you want to do is, without the person having bought it, you want them to have such a strong vision of it, of what it is and why it matters to them, that it's just an easy yes. It's, of course I'm going to buy this, of course I'm going to say yes to this. And the more you can paint them a picture so that's why we always document our events. You always want to record your stuff. You always want to take pictures, because now you're giving them a visual of what to expect, what it's going to look like. And then you can share testimonials, can be one, post that you're sharing of people at my last event said these things, right? This is what other people have said. So it's not just, don't take my word for it. Of course, you're not going to share negative testimonials, but basically the fact that people are already, then you're like, see, people have already come up, already been of service. This has already been helpful. So you're painting that lovely picture before they sign up of, this is awesome. And then I always do create a little bit of urgency. Like if you want to save $10, if you want to save $20, get in before the early bird ends, and I even say, like, it's really helpful for us if the sales come in not all the day before, so you can have bonuses. If you sign up before this time, you get my free ebook, you get my free thing. So those can also be engagement points and ways to get people connected and activated earlier than just, and then what you're doing, you're putting all this work into this one event that you're trying to bring everyone to. But what we find is actually you can do so much relationship building, so much pre-paving, so much laying the groundwork before the event, that actually the event has way more value. And because it's almost been like a month's worth of event value from you. So instead of them needing to get all the juice and all their money's worth in a few hours, it's like they've been helping me for weeks already with all this useful stuff and all this connection and all this engagement. Especially if you're doing coaching or training or any kind of teaching, there's so many elements of that you don't have to cram it all into one thing. You can drip little bits of value all the way along.
Yeah. Gary Vee talks about sort of giving away your best stuff for free and being completely transparent, like basically sharing all your secrets, all your tools, all your tips. Don't have anything behind a paywall of like, oh, I'll like teach you a little bit, but then you got to pay me. It's like, just give it all away. And what people are paying for it, personalization. That's why right now we're not going through our document like line by line and just doing all the talking, because we can do that. You guys can go through that, ask questions in the group, like, or ask AI. That's easy. What's unique is us getting to like riff with you and come up with, specific ideas for you guys and gals. And so I feel like bringing that to your community as well.
Yeah, love that.
Is that good, Kim? Any other bits? Good.
Yay.
Glow, do you have anything?
And testimonials.
Oh, what's a good way to collect testimonials? We're working on that too. Having a dedicated person there after the event with a camera is the best way, because then it's like, and doing a little announcement like,
at a live event.
Hey, we're doing, thank you so much everyone for coming. We have, Antonio in the corner. He's going to be recording testimonials. If you love this and you want to share, please go see him. And that's like number one. And then you could always, send it in the day after, follow up email, DM all of your people, however you want to do it. And just remind them like, oh, can you record something? If you loved it, please record it, send it back to us. I think that's Kim. We had people like wandering around Science World with cameras or the whatever the place, and you were on one of our testimonials and you swore a lot, and I love it.
Yeah, you really want to get the testimonial as right away after, especially if it's at an in-person event. You want to get it right there, and I highly recommend not doing it yourself. Get a volunteer, get a friend, because you remember, as long as you have those people in that room, you can still be connecting with them, still be engaging, still adding value. You want to talk to every single person at your event. You want all of them to feel welcomed and included and part of it. So if you're spending all your time behind a camera, like the spending time with people is worth more than the testimonial in that moment. And get a friend and get someone to do the testimonial. If you're doing an online event, ask them if they would stick around, right? And you can do, just do a little recording with them. And then you can do the same thing, do a little discount giveaway. If you do if you send in a testimonial in this over the next week, you'll get a discount to my next event. You'll get a free event. You'll get a free offering, and really, so you're kind of incentivizing them and really stress that if you loved this, if you got any value out of this at all, please share, please give me this, like, this is your gift back to me. If you feel I gifted you something, this is your gift back to me. And so many, I even say, like, it's hard to explain this sometimes. Like, how do you explain light language? This weird thing that, like, what is light language? I have no idea. So for Theta can say, like, I love this. I think it's so powerful. If you thought it was awesome, please explain it to my audience from your perspective. So, because they can hear it from me, but coming from you, someone who doesn't know what it is in your first experience, is going to be so much more powerful than anything I can say. So that's really, you're asking them for a give back. And then if you can too, with your testimonials, I would highly recommend write out a little script for your interviewer, because a lot of times the testimonials are random and vague, and so write out just a little basic script of questions they can ask, and always include, because there's nothing worse than a testimonial that says it was great. Like, what was great? What was this like? I don't know. So when I would do interviews, I would always say, thank you so much for taking the time to do this testimonial with me. Please, would you repeat back my question before you answer so that I can record it and then I can edit myself out? So I'm going to say, what did you love about this event? So can you say, what I loved about this event was blah, blah, blah. And if you can name drop me or the event, Theta Phoenix is amazing. I saw her at this event. And now the next time you share that testimonial is 100 times better, because it has your name, it has what it was. And then another thing that's really useful in the testimonial is, who am I, the giver of the testimonial, that you may resonate with. So for Heather to have someone say, I am a 40-year-old woman, I thought I would never find love again, but I have so much more faith because of this event. Like, I am this demographic, or I was really jaded because I've been to all these dating events that didn't work. And now someone else who who sees that testimony is like, I'm jaded. I've been to these events. Or someone comes to Theta's event and they're like, I thought all sound healing was just a bunch of crystal bowls, but Theta's is next level. And someone who watches that goes, I thought sound healing was like that. So you're giving them something to identify with. So especially if you can get testimonials from men and you're doing events that include men, that's often, there's not as many men at these kind of wellness events. So, like, especially if you get like a nice,
What do you mean, Kristall?
Right?
You see a woman.
Especially if you get someone, I always, it's wonderful when you have people who look like your avatar. And if you get someone who looks complete opposite, a man in a business suit, and he's kind of, and he's like, I've never been to a sound bath. My wife dragged me. I thought it was super weird, but actually it was like the most relaxing. I feel so much more clear, whatever. So you're giving yourself, now someone who watches that will be like, oh, I had no idea. I am him. And I resonate with what he's saying. So that's giving, if you're going to take the time to do the testimonials, doing that little extra next level bit can take them from like, she was so great, I liked it, to like, actually, this is informative, this is informational. And you can, if you've got a friend or someone who's committed, you can even get them to go a little bit next level of like, what I liked about it, why this person was so amazing. And then it actually becomes a little training, almost like a little piece of content that you can share, where they're actually really upselling you and upselling your offering and what they got from it. I understood now what this means, and now I get the basics. So they might explain it in such an intelligent way in like a 1 second, 1 minute clip, that's now your reel for your content, right? So really, if you're going to do the work, might as well put in that little extra bit and just get gold. Yeah. That's so fun. Yay. You've got a question, Doug? Your name says Tina, but is it?
Oh, no, I think that was from before.
Oh, is that from before?
Yeah. Amazing.
No.
Glow, did you have anything? I know we're getting
That was
towards
from before.
You had a question? Oh, from before. Okay, perfect.
Oh, maybe Glow's not on right now. So we can go through a bit about Unite if you want, but we've also got that on other videos that we can share in the group. We could go through the document and sort of quickly, run through anything that we missed, but that we can also do that in the group. But I'd rather get to like specific, anything specific for any of y'all before we.
And we want to leave on a high note, and we don't want to burn anyone out.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the kind of, we're really committed. That's why we want to do this group, is we don't want it to be like, you've got to get everything in 3 hours and then that's it, too bad. So that's the Facebook group is going to be amazing for that. We'll add you all into that. And that's going to grow too. So every time we do one of these events, we're going to add more the other people into that. So you can stay in that group. You can keep asking your questions. And that's where we want it to be more of a think tank, where we can all chime in, and we might make a post like, okay, share your awesome giveaway ideas. And then everyone can share their giveaway ideas. And now we have a giveaway post that you can come back to. And then we can be like, share your creative content ideas. And then we can have a post about that. So we really see this as a living, growing community that you guys are starting with us, because you're the first crew. So thank you.
It's sort of like a wellness entrepreneurs mastermind group.
Yeah.
So we'll probably have one for both people who have services as well as people who run events or people who have products. It'll just be one group for the kind of wellness business owner. And then we'll have different offerings that were like this one. We also want to bring in experts who have unique skill sets, like in Facebook ads or running a paid group coaching program or high ticket sales or whatever. And so we'll bring in these experts, and it'll be sort of like a monthly ongoing mastermind with different live events like this or online events like this, and then some other things. And so we'll share all that. Is there anything specific to anyone, before we do like a final thing? All good?
Extra burning question.
Thanks, anyone.
Love you all.
Yeah, this was fun.
So fun. Yeah. So like Shine said, we're the group will carry on. We will do kind of like these. So if you got value from this, so again, I highly recommend, don't ever host an event without a follow-up event to, even if you guys aren't going to come to the next one, now I know what this event is about. I know 5 friends that would be awesome, that would love this. So then you can say right away, make sure you send your friends to my next one. So January 7th is our next one. So if you know anyone, please send them on Facebook to that one.
So we're going to do this one again.
And we're going to do this. Yeah, we're going to do this one again. And we haven't talked about an affiliate fee, but we would love to offer you guys an affiliate if you bring people in. So we'll get clear on what we want to offer you guys as affiliate, but we want a big affiliate, like 20% at least, I think. So really encouraging you guys to send your people our way, so that we can help them too. And so we're going to do this event again. We're going to do a speed healing online. So some of you have been to our in-person events and have experienced speed healing, which is awesome, and so many people love. And what we got really clear on at our last one at Science World, we had, I think, 30 healers, and they all had 12 sessions available. And I think, so like 360 sessions. And I think they were fully booked in the first 5 minutes. So people who came 5 minutes late couldn't get any sessions. So it really showed us that it's highly successful, and we need to move online as well. So in the future, there's going to be a hybrid where if you're at an in-person event with in-person healers, but all the in-person stuff is full, you could have a Reiki session with someone in Australia, or an Akashic record reading with a healer in London at the event, and you can just sit on your phone and do it on Unite, on the Unite Speed Healing app. So we're building the Unite Speed Healing app. That is super exciting. So it's going to be its own standalone app that is going to link to the website. But right now, you can be a speed healer on Unite as well. Are you going to walk us through it?
I'll just show you quick.
Okay, so Shine's going to show us. So if you don't know quickly, the concept with speed healing is you want to give people a taste of your offering, but value. So this is not a pitch. This is not these are my credentials. This is literally a 10-minute healing session. And if they like it, if you did well, then you offer them your upsell, your paid session, etc. So on the Unite platform, you can host free speed healing sessions. We recommend 10 minutes is a really good time frame. Much longer, and it is a temptation to get really deep and to offer, to kind of make it this big production. And really, you just want to give them a taste of you and who you are, and much shorter than 10 minutes. And it's hard to get a sense of who the person is. So we recommend like a 10-minute session, and then you can, do 5 minutes after or before for conversation and prep. So these are our current speed healing sessions that people have. The way it works is you're going to go on Unite and click, join as a speed healer. And when you click book, you're going to be taken to.
Sorry.
Shine.
You're
Shine's
killing
just,
me, Smalls.
there you go. Shine was screen sharing, but you couldn't see it. That's okay. We'll get there in a moment.
No, we saw it.
Oh, did you see it?
Yeah, we could see it. It was very cool.
Oh, but it doesn't move. So when you open the book link, you couldn't see it.
Oh, yeah, we could just see this.
You have the healer here. You click, it goes to this page, which is her description page, and then you just click book, and it takes you to their Calendly, and then you just book a time.
Yeah.
And
so we've integrated with Zoom and Calendly. So when you sign up as a speed healer, it will ask you to put in your Zoom link, and it will ask you to put in your Calendly link, and you can populate as many as whatever times you want and put that in. And we highly recommend you also have a paid offering. If you would post it on Unite as a product, that would be amazing. So we're building out the services feature, but we don't have that yet. So you can just do it as a product like this. These are the products, and they're just, you can see, they're paid sessions.
Yeah, these aren't supposed to be there because it's only for free for the speed healing.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, it's supposed to be free only. But we'll work on that. So, but we're sort of waiting until we really get the app going, so we're not worried about it.
But you
can use it now.
You can totally use it. And what we're doing next week is we're doing a free info session where we're going to teach people what speed healing is, because we realized I think it's an amazing concept, and people like, that sounds really cool, but they need the understanding of why this has value, because a lot of us are trained to like Shine said, to market with like, I'll give you a little bit, but if you want the juice, then you've got to pay and you've got to buy my thing. And what we found with the speed healing, which was so effective, was by actually giving people value and having people actually get a little mini session. They're like, oh my God, that was great. And that's it. I want more, please. And we had, with a little bit of coaching and training, we were able to help practitioners have like 100% book rate for their paid session follow-up. So one woman came to our event, she just came, sat down, did her thing, and she got 0 clients booked afterward. She's like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And she had like no follow-up. She had no way to really connect. And I think she had her like a business card or something. And what we did is we spent a few minutes talking with her about how to set it up to have like a follow-up session, to do a discount if you book right now, like a couple great little tips. And the next time she did 12 free healing sessions and booked 12 paying sessions right away after that. So it really is just a couple little tweaks that take it from like, oh, this was just a fun thing, to like, I want to follow up and I want to do more with that. So yeah, speed healing is awesome. For anyone in your community that is a healer, that especially we find the speed healing is really great for people who are just starting out in their modality and they're just kind of learning how they want to position themselves. It's a really great way to practice because it's a free session. So you don't feel so obligated to be really of service, and you get to just try stuff out a little bit. So those people are really especially, there's a lot of people straight out of programs and things that need to build up a client base. So the free info session next week, that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be helping people walk through and get onto the platform as a healer. So if you want to be a healer, come back next week, and we'll be doing that on Thursday, the
12th.
The 12th.
Yeah.
If the 12th is a Thursday, then that's the date.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's the Thursday closest to the 12th. So that's what we're going to be doing. Then we also have a New Year's party coming up. Woohoo! So that is our next in-person speed healing event. So if you want to be an in-person speed healer, we're doing that here in White Rock. So let us know if you want to be a healer or vendor for that event. And if you want to just join as a participant, we're doing cacao and intention setting and dance party and community and basically like an all-day wellness. We're going to have like biohacking and, you know, PEMF stuff and just, oh my goodness, look at this.
Look at the snacker. Kimberly.
We're going to have all kinds of, you know, a wonderful wellness stuff to really start your New Year's off right. So that's our New Year's event.
On the 17th of December, I'm hosting a flow state workshop. So if for me, I find there's all these things to do, but if I'm overwhelmed, if I'm stressed out, I don't get to it. I kind of put self-care first. So I'm going to share this technique that I've come up with. That's sort of a blending of like meditation meets Abraham Hicks meets channeling meets affirmations that really helps me kind of like get into these flow states where then I feel more inspired to work and be productive. So that's on the 17th of December.
Yeah.
And I'll probably do that one again as well.
Yeah, so that's mindset mixed with like doing the energetic work. So it's really great if you're feeling stuck and overwhelmed or stressed with this, or wanting to get really clear for yourself on what direction, even what name should I call it, what like to focus. What Shine uses it for a lot too is like a personal, not like Magic 8-Ball because it's not like it's the opposite, like basically like his personal own channel to get into the vortex, to get alignment.
My own Abraham.
His own Abraham, to get the answers from like the most authentic from his own inner being or his higher self, for what direction to go in. Because a lot of times we're trying to decide these things when we're stressed, we're worried. I've got to get this launched. I've got to make money, whatever the thing is. Due to your network. Oh, all of a sudden everybody's networks went down. Anyway, I don't know if anyone can see us now. Our network looks fine. I don't know if anyone can see us. No, all the videos are gone. Anyone there?
There we go.
Theta's still there.
We're good. We got thumbs up.
Everyone else's, we just got Theta. Everyone else's videos are gone.
There's a whole big thing of like your problem with your network.
Okay.
It was our network.
We'll keep talking. Oh, there
okay,
you go.
great. Yeah.
We'll keep talking. So what Shine uses, it instead of waiting until you're stressed or triggered or challenged to do, especially the creative stuff, it's really important when you're launching, when you're doing the branding, the visuals, the writing, to be really clear and really clean and to get that mapped out from a great state. And then when you're like, okay, it's Sunday, I've got to do a bit of marketing, you've already lined it up. So you don't have to be creative. You can just pop it out. And yeah, so kind of doing that pre-alignment work is really important. So that's flow state event. And what else? Then we've got a couple awesome, just fun things coming up in January. We've got the Noah Aeon system reset breathwork experience coming back to Vancouver. We're supporting with on January 14th at the South Hall. So that's a huge, awesome breathwork event if you're looking for something fun.
Oh, you guys are like this. We've got this really cool artist coming in from Germany, I think.
In May,
called Malte Martin, and he's kind of famous in Europe, but I don't know if
he
people
hasn't
know
been
him
to
here.
Vancouver.
And he plays these beautiful
hand pans.
The handpan drums, and it's just like 1.3 million.
I love him. Oh my God, I was wanting to do something with him.
Oh, great!
Gonna
Yes,
come.
he's
I gotta
coming.
connect. Okay, connect.
We
me.
want to sell out St. James. We have like 6 months or whatever. So I feel like this will be the first time we get to really like pack it with seats and make it awesome.
What's the date again?
May 22nd.
Okay.
And then there's another artist playing with him who's also unbelievable and does these beautiful like song circles and kind of like group like chanting. It's just magnificent. I'm blanking on his name, but I'll share later.
Awesome. Yeah. So, and that's what Shine was saying, that we do things like we'll partner with someone who has a big following, but he hasn't been to Vancouver and doesn't have the community here. And that's a wonderful cross promotion for us as well. So yeah. So there we go. That's the main stuff we have going on. We've got the app coming. And so the way you guys can support us is by sharing. If you know any healers, send them our way for speed healing. If you know other event producers, send them, especially the ones who I have so many people that are like, oh, I can't sign up for anything right now. Money is an issue. And we're like, great, we want to help you with that. So
pay us from your profits.
Exactly right. And that's something we always do too, is we always have by donation options. We always want to have scholarship options. We always want to really make sure that we're including people. And I highly recommend you doing that with your offerings and your events as well. And you don't need to, we normally have ways, when we say it's by donation, I don't just say, give whatever, like $5, $6, whatever you can. I give them some parameters. Most people often do half of the ticket price or this amount. So you give them a little, people are worried about doing donation because they think it's going to devalue their offering. And what we find is it actually increases because people are so appreciative and grateful, and it shows them that we care too. So it's actually building our brand. And yeah, by kind of being clear on, the parameters for the donation amount, it's not diluting it. It's actually just making it accessible for people. And especially if you've got space, we'll always say we can do 1 or 2, tickets for, in kind or whatever. So coming up with ways that you can be inclusive, and that really builds your brand. That's actually how I met Shine, was somebody shared a free event or free ticket to their workshop in a community a gifting group. And I didn't take the free event, even though I could have, but I'm like, anyone who's going to offer a $500 package for free, I like their vibe. Right. So then she introduced me to Shine. So that's how we met. So there's like never underestimate the value in giving first. And that's what we're doing with the speed healing too, is you're giving a session first, and then people are loving it and following up. And it really, especially in a world where it feels like, sell, give me, you are going to be the exception. You're going to be like the only person that's giving first. You're going to stand out a mile.
The Facebook group hasn't been created yet, so that's why I haven't found it. And we'll send it to everyone.
And it will be private, so you won't actually be able to search it, but we will send it to everyone and make sure everyone gets into that in the next day or two.
Yeah.
And
it's part of our new idea is to, our main goal with Unite is to help wellness spread around the world more quickly, more easily, and help more people find it. Eventually, we want this marketing workshop to be, just put your thing on Unite, and that's it. Because we'll have enough people on there. It'll be like Airbnb. You don't have to promote your rental if you're renting your room out on Airbnb. There's enough people looking, it just fills up.
Yeah.
So we want that for Unite. And so the more that you can help us in the early days using Unite and getting people on there and sending people there and all that, it's sort of building the community so that eventually we don't have to do all this crap, because it's all just like trying to figure out the algorithm for this and that, whatever. Like there's easier ways to do it. So we're working on that, but I forgot what I was saying.
Yeah,
that's okay.
And
That's it.
We're building Unite to be awesome. We're building it for the people.
So what we our highest pinnacle is always, how can we help people be happier, healthier, etc. And so the more that we can help y'all who are helping people, and you can reach more people, it's like we'll uplift the uplifters, and then there's sort of like a cascading effect and ripple effect.
And I really encourage all of you to see how you can be the spearhead and the leader in your niche, because then you don't just become a buy my thing, you become, I'm supporting all the women interested in breathwork in Langley. And I'm going to create the container and I'm going to hold the space. And now you're not just someone just sharing your event. You're actually a leader. You're a role model. You're a spokesperson. Or, I'm going to be the leader of the, conscious comedy community in Vancouver. Or I'm going to be the leader of
the women's circle leader.
Right.
We already established that.
I think there could be a whole conscious comedy crew as well. And because I find a lot of comedy is very negative and very down. If it's a female comedian, it's putting women down. If it's a fat comedian, it's making fat jokes. And I'm like, this is not funny to me. And I feel like we need like the next level comedy. So yeah, really encouraging each other. The more we can uplift each other to be the leaders in our community. Yeah, there you go. Song circle. Women, let's not take ourselves so seriously. But the reason you're excited about what you want to offer is because no one's doing what you want to do, right? That's why we do everything we do. I always say if someone else did exactly what we want, I wouldn't do it because they're doing it great. I get to go to their thing. People like, how did you get into events? I'm like, well, no one was doing what I wanted. So I had to do it myself. And so if you really think about, like Shine said at the very beginning, what would I go to? What would I pay for? That's the people you want to attract, and then be a leader in that community, and you get to hold the space, and then you have much more permission to promote yourself. People aren't going to be pissed off when you're promoting, because you're promoting everybody, you're supporting everybody, you're uplifting everybody. So it's not just a me. And I know none of you, that's the angle you're coming from anyway. So yeah, reach out. We've got a little crew here starting. We're going to make this crew much bigger, and whenever you need a cheerleader, a fan, some encouragement, that's what this group is going to be for, to lift each other up, share ideas, support, especially when you get into those bumps. Theda and I had an awesome work session last week where we just both got on together and we just worked on our own things on a phone call. We couldn't even see each other, and we just could, like, you could hear the clicking and like, oh yeah, I do. And especially for us ADHD people, like the body doubling, just having someone there with you, so helpful. So we can do like body doubling marketing sessions on the group as well. So
yeah,
I see Camille's falling asleep and I'm ready for sleep too.
You guys, I just want to say that you're awesome. Like, you've been so committed for so long, like, just to keep creating these spaces for community and supporting healers in the community. You are really, I just want to acknowledge you both, like, for the community creation and perseverance and consistency over so many years now.
Aww,
you guys are an institution in Vancouver.
Actually,
it's our 9-year anniversary tonight at midnight.
no,
Oh my God! Happy anniversary! I was just
the 5th. Oh really? Oh my goodness.
We like completely both forgot.
I was just like thinking, I was looking at you and I was thinking, have they been together for 9 years? I think it's been 9 years.
9 years tomorrow.
Amazing.
Or tonight.
Happy anniversary!
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's
we
a really.
no, go.
I was just gonna say that, like, I just really see your partnership and how it's such a powerful, united partnership, and really for the community. So thank you.
Love that. So maybe we'll do a Facebook Live and celebrate our anniversary, and everyone can come on, and Camille can come on and sing us a song.
Oh, sweet.
Ooh,
How good we are.
Yeah, that's a deal. Yeah.
Shine Kristall, rocking it hard.
Love you guys.
Thank you so much, everyone.
This was so fun.
Yay.
Yeah, appreciate you all.
Aw.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, and
Thank you. Nice to meet you, everyone.
Will we
Love
get
you.
the replay?
See you later.
I wrote
Pardon?
my appreciation in the chat.
Will we get an email in the replay?
I'll send you all
Yes.
the stuff.
It's all going to go in the group. We'll send it in an email,
Okay.
and we'll make sure you've all got it in some form or other.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Heather.
Bye.
Tapping around the world.
I love that.
Yeah.
Aw.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Please, I heard such good stuff about the mahi.
It
Congrats.
was so good. Thank you. I'm so excited. Yeah.
Right.
We'll
That's awesome.
stop. We'll stop there. There you go. Stop there. Yeah. Everyone was